settling down. So heat number 1 on the inside is Leon Madsen in red. Gate number 2, Max Frick, coming out of there in the blue helmet colour. Anders Thompson out of gate 3 in white. And Maciej Janowski goes from the outside in the very first race of the night in the yellow helmet colour off of gate number 4. Heart rates are up, apart from Anders Thompson, who looks remarkably calm. But gates 1 and 4 look like they're fairly high, 173, 175. So, yeah, it is nervous times, waiting for the start marshal just to pull you forward. Riders just taking a few moments just to find that spot they want. The track will and the start line will dig up. There will be ruts there. Scott Nichols in the pre-show did point that out. So here we go. Green light comes on now. You can see it. Tetero away, and we go to the first turn, and it's all about Madsen on the inside. Maciej Janowski there alongside him. Madsen makes half a mistake. Janowski now pounces. Brilliant move from the Polish rider. Charges to the front. Leon Madsen just making that half a mistake and just lost the lead there. Frick's there challenging as well. Thompson is out the back. But Maciej Janowski, right place, right time.
Absolutely, Leon Madsen will be kicking himself. He's come off gate 1, he's made a fantastic start. He had a look across, he knew where the other riders were, and just at the wrong time, they let the bike lift. A little bit too much traction went across the corner, and Janowski didn't need asking a second time, pulling clear at the front.
He is indeed, he's looking good. He's putting that disappointment at the final last weekend behind him here well and truly. He's into that last lap now. He's pulled away. Leon Madsen has now stamped his authority on second place. Max Frick back in third. But Maciej Janowski, a superb move in that first corner, and he wins the opening race of the night comfortably. 3 points for him. Leon Madsen back in second place, but this man meant business there. He got himself away from the outside, and as he came off that first turn, he just went through them like a knife through butter.
Yeah, he gave himself that opportunity. He made a great start from 4. The advantage seemed to come from the inside and the outside, and he was there ready to pounce as soon as Leon Madsen made that mistake.
Yeah, frustrating for Leon Madsen, but not disastrous. 2 points is still very useful. Max Frick back in third place. Anders Thompson will be a touch disappointing result then. 3 points for Maciej Janowski, 2 points for Leon Madsen, 1 point for Max Frick, and Anders Thompson missing out in his opening ride. But gate number 3 is often difficult here.
It is, but inside and outside there, Leon Madsen on the inside makes a good start there. Just working the bike, working the throttle, picks up too much traction. And Janowski from gate forward made a good one. He was in the perfect position to take full advantage. You can see there Madsen on the outside. He knows at that point that they're all coming through. Luckily for him, he manages just to get the bike around this corner ahead of Max Frick, who chased hard all race but wasn't quite able to get through.
He was vulnerable there, the Madsen, though, wasn't he? Because he was sort of mid-track and he could have been in no man's land, and Frick, you know, with a little bit more drive, could have slipped through as well. Yeah,
Max will, you know, he'll have seen that opportunity opening up, and you know, he could have taken advantage of it, but set up just not quite there for his first one. Perhaps caught out a little bit by the amount of water on the surface. Yeah,
well, there's no surprise there. It's red hot here, and they're going to keep this meeting going for 23 races. It's heat number 2 now, though. And we've got Robert Lambert out here and Jason Doyle third a week ago in the Marquetta Stadium. Good performance from the Australian. Got 2 Australians here in actual fact. We've got Jack Holder alongside him as well. But Robert Lambert on the inside. He will go there from the red helmet colour. Jason Doyle in blue, gate number 2. Gate 3 in white is Jack Holder. And Frederick Lindgren will go from the outside in yellow. Strong looking lineup here.
Very strong looking lineup, and Robert Lambert, quick today in qualifying, started the series with 2 race wins in Goroshan and hasn't won a race since, so he's going to be looking to turn that form around.
He will indeed. He was impressive earlier on today, so he will settle down now for his opening ride. The green light will come on. It is, and away they go. Gate number 1 working well as well again, and Freddie Lindgren from the outside is pushing hard, pushing very hard, and he's really done a business there. Fires himself to the front as they go into turns number 3 and 4 on the opening lap. Good move from Freddie Lindgren there. Robert Lambert on the back wheel. How has he held on to that? But it's cost him. Yeah. That cost him there because Jason Doyle has forced his way through, and Lambert's gone to the back. Disappointment for the British rider there. Jack Holder now. Robert Lambert forcing his way back up through the inside, but got to say that lift there from Robert Lambert really did hurt him.
Robert Lambert in the thick of the action, but you're absolutely right. Again, the bike just losing the forward momentum as the front wheel goes up in the air. And Freddie Lindgren, great first lap from him. We can see there Freddie Lindgren just perhaps catching a little bit of grip, a little bit of unexpected grip. They really have got these bikes on the edge from qualifying today. They've got short wheelbases, ignitions perhaps back a little bit, really making these bikes drive forward.
Right at the last turn, Freddie Lindgren in heat number 2, super ride from him, smashing move in the first corner. Really did do the business there and worked hard initially. Robert Lambert will be a touch frustrated there. He had that race and just lifting there and just having to control the bike on the back wheel slowed his momentum down, and Jason Doyle also pounced and came through into second place. But for Freddie Lindgren, he'll be chuffed to bits with that, coming from the outside and making it work in the first corner. And that interview we saw with Bartosz Smarczyk with Scotty Nichols, he did talk about it. So the result then, Freddie Lindgren 3 points, Jason Doyle 2, Robert Lambert back in third place, 1 for him, and the young Australian Jack Holder just missing out. But a strong start from Freddie.
Yeah, we often say it, Gate 4 does give you opportunities in the first turn, not normally this early on in the meeting, but again the starts come from red and yellow on the inside and outside, and you can see there, I think Robert maybe just struggling for grip. He's having to work the bike very hard and they can't quite make it, put the power on the ground coming off the first turn. But here it's more grip than he wants. You can see him working the throttle there, great throttle control just to keep the bike going forward, but he gets too much lift, loses that momentum, and first of all Jason Doyle steams through, and then he comes under fire from Jack Holder, but manages just to grab that third place back.
He did indeed. It was had to bounce back there. He got himself into a little bit of a 2 and 8, hadn't he? You know, it was a bit difficult moment. I don't know if he could have done anything else about that. It was just unfortunate to get that much grip coming out of the corner. Freddie Lindgren, well, he's not worried about that. He certainly rode very strongly indeed, and he'll be pleased to get the 3 points in his opening ride. And riders are already up at tapes for heat number 3 here. We've got the wild card out here, Kai Hülkenberg, who I'm really looking forward to seeing ride. He's a local man and will have plenty of support in the stadium. Ty Woofenden also has ridden well, and last week's Grand Prix second place has transformed his Grand Prix season. So on the inside, Kai Hülkenberg in red, Patrick Dudek comes out of gate 2 in blue, Ty Woofenden will come from gate number 3 in white, and Martin Vacilic coming out of gate number 4 in yellow. And it was a spectacular win for Martin Vacilic in the Marquetta Stadium 7 days ago. Can he build on it now? Gate 4's been working pretty well in the opening couple of races. Green lights on and up they go. Brilliant stuff once again from the outside. Martin Vacilic absolutely jet propelled from there. Really did make it work. Patrick Duguet now slots into second place. Woofenden's wide, very wide there. He's vulnerable there with Kai Hülkenberg up the inside. Woofenden just recovers in the nick of time, hanging on to third place. But Martin Vacilic's down.
No,
2 of them down. I think Ty Woofenden may have reacted to the fact that Martin Vacilic had actually come off the bike.
He may have just got off the gas at the wrong point because he lifted violently as well.
Interesting decision now for the referee Craig Ackroyd there. Will he have any sympathy for Ty Woofenden, because they're both in danger of being excluded here, because effectively you could look at it as 2 separate incidents.
Yeah, we'll have to see if he got off the gas as a result of what happened.
Good to see them both up and about. Bikes are probably more damaged than riders here. We'll watch it again.
Yeah, we've got Martin Vacilic out front. Now he's getting into trouble just here. Loads of...
Oh no, Ty as well.
No, I think it's just synchronised crashing.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to have a rerun, I would suggest, with just 2 riders. There's a rut appeared there. I tell you what, Woofenden, the bike just leapt.
Violent.
Absolutely. My eyes were caught on the fact that Martin had gone down. I didn't see how violently the bike reacted. He was vulnerable initially here, Woofenden.
Yeah, he's just closed down the gap on Kai there. He's just coming into the corner, but this has nothing to do with Martin Vacilic out front.
No.
Just collected the rut on the inside.
Not at all.
Caught him out, and that's it. He's just gone across the corner. There's no traction to hold him up. He's gone down. Not under power. This is the important thing. He's not under power when the red lights come on.
Well, the top 2 from last weekend, it looks like they're going to both miss out in their opening rides here this evening. It's confirmed by the referee that white and yellow have been excluded, so we'll have a rerun with just the 2 riders here, and disappointing for both of them, because Martin in particular had got away very well. So disappointment for Woofenden. They've got 4 more opportunities. I suppose that's little consolation, but you do have 12 points available to qualify for the semi-finals, and you've got to look at that now, haven't you, Chris? You've got to put it to the back of your mind.
It's happened. There's nothing you can do about it. You've got to maybe analyse why you made the mistake, and in Ty's case, I think it was just a rut. I think with Martin Vasilik, I think it's just picking up too much grip. It looks like the lads have all come from qualifying this afternoon in the hot sun. The track was quite a bit drier. They've made those changes to the bikes to maximise the traction, and maybe some of them are just getting a little bit too much at the moment.
Yeah, I didn't see that rut on the inside though in qualifying. That seems to have appeared. Maybe they were avoiding it because they were riding around in practice, so they had the opportunity and the luxury, of course, to miss out. But Martin there just reflecting on a missed opportunity and just got caught out with too much grip at the moment time. Just demonstrating there that he ran into some grip or a rut, and the bike just leapt away from him. But you're right, Phil Morris just giving the riders a hurry up. He's confirming what we have already announced, that the two of them are out of the rerun. So Martin, this is when you've got to use your experience. You've got to keep yourself cool and calm. Don't reflect on it too much, because you've got 4 more opportunities to...
Yeah, if you can't do that yourself, you need someone around you that can do it for you, and just...
well, Pete Adams is in there with Ty. I'm sure he'll be having a word with him. Martin looks after himself pretty much, but he's seen and done it on plenty of occasions. Furious work going on in the pits there. When the bike goes down like that, all the dirt gets thrown in on the chains and the clutch, and hence that's why the mechanics are looking at the chain. Right, let's get some reaction now. We can join Scotty Nichols. He's with Ty Wolfenden.
Yeah, I'm with Ty real quick. Ty, really caught you out there. Obviously you hit a rut, but was that on the track walk? Did you see that at all?
Yeah, there's plenty of ruts out there after the last qualifying session, but I just came into that corner off the gas a little bit, and it caught me out. Obviously caught Martin out as well, so now I'm covered in shit. Got to clean it.
Well, apologies for the bad language there, but mate, as long as you're okay, you're all good in yourself?
Yeah, man, sweet.
Right, all the best. Good luck for the next one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Into qualifying, that was information that was good for us, because we didn't see riders actually losing that much control earlier on. But 2 riders back up at tapes, and we will have a rerun with it's effectively a match race now between the 2. Ty looks pretty relaxed, and I'm sure that he will dig in and produce the business in his upcoming races. Here we see it. On the inside in red is Kai Hülkenberg. On gate number 2 in blue is Patrick Dudek, and no riders in the gate number 3 and gate number 4. So just a straight shootout between these 2, an opportunity for big points. Got to take that opportunity now. Green lights on, and away they go. And it's neck and neck into the first corner. Kai Hülkenberg makes it his, avoids that rut, which is good news for him. Patrick Dudek had his elbow out there trying to get himself to the front, but Kai Hülkenberg was having none of that. And as they complete the opening lap, the wild card, he's from this area, but lots of support. I tell you what, he's riding a nice line there, and they've managed to avoid that rut, and they're looking good. Yeah, the 3 times German champion out front. The crowd will be happy with this. And feel for Patrick a little bit. He'd made a decent start in the first attempt off gate 2. He'd actually got across Kai Hülkenberg, but Kai this time determined in that first turn. He was indeed. He's hugging the inside. Front wheel touching that white line, and extra fat over it there at times. Going into the last lap. Patrick Dudek is certainly not letting this go. He's having a real go in second place. He's got one more opportunity now. He charges into turn number 3. He's on the outside. He's winding it up on the charge to the line. He's coming. Oh my goodness gracious. Close. Very tight indeed. Gonna have to watch that back. I don't know which way it's gone. I think maybe Dudek would have got that, to be honest. Dudek tried awfully hard there. It looked like Kai Hülkenberg for 3 3/4 laps had that all sewn up. See it again now on this run to the line here, Chris. Yeah, it's very, very close. Late charge from Dudek on the outside here in blue. Ooh. That is cool. That is a real tough call. Craig Ackroyd will have to declare a result. This angle might be better. I tell you what. Looks quite Kai Hülkenberg by the skin of his teeth picks up his win. Great effort from Patrick Dudek in second place, and a really exciting race for us to watch after all the shenanigans that went on earlier on. Kai Hülkenberg, 3 points for him. Patrick Dudek back in second place, a good effort, 2 points for him. And Ty Woofenden and Martin Vasilik excluded and failing to score. But for Kai Hülkenberg, well, a sigh of relief, I would think, after that effort from Dudek.
Yeah, Dudek really took the challenge too. He made so much ground up on that last corner. He went into the corner a good 2 or 3 yards behind, and still managed to almost get around the outside of him. I wouldn't have thought the track had developed quite enough grip on the outside there to do that, but he's showing plenty of speed.
But he seemed to generate a lot of speed coming off a turn 2 on that last lap, and he had a lot of speed down the back straight, Chris.
Yeah.
And he was totally committed to that outside run.
Completely. He only had one idea, and that was just to go to the right of the back wheel there of Kai Hülkenberg, and almost made it work.
Heat number 4, and we see Bartosz Marslik for the first time this evening. And here we're going from the outside gate. Mikkel Mikkelsen there on the inside. And Bartosz, as we said earlier, was the fastest man in practice. And he chose to ride at number 13. He will have back-to-back races. We'll see him in heat number 5 as well. On the inside then is Mikkel Mikkelsen in red. Dan Bewley will come from gate number 2 in blue. Schapelski will come out of gate number 3 in white. And Bartosz Marslik, the World Championship leader, will go from gate number 4 in yellow. And Bartosz Marslik clearly fancied go from the outside. Wanted a change from the draw number 5, but we've seen it done by Fast Freddy. And Bartosz Marslik is more than capable of doing something similar here.
Yeah.
A green light coming on. Here it is, and away they go. They roar to the first corner. Dan Bewley made a good start from gate number 2, but an even better one from Bartosz Marslik. Sweet as you like, swept round the field, and is already several bike lengths out in front. Super opening lap from Bartosz Marslik. Encouraging riding from Dan Bewley. Schapelski back in third place, and got to say that Mikkelsen there out of shape, hits that rut. An untidy lap and a half from the Danish rider.
Yeah, very uncomfortable at the back there, but Dan Bewley, the young Brit, rocketed off the start, but Bartosz Marslik knew exactly where he was going. He just went straight for the edge of the dirt.
Oh my goodness gracious me.
Schapelski there nearly takes out Dan Bewley.
Nearly drives a hole in the side of him. We're into the last lap very shortly. One more lap to go for Marslik. He's comfortable out in front. Got to say that Dan Bewley there was a touch fortunate.
Very.
And he settles nicely in second place, and Schapelski has dropped back in third. But for that man, fastest man in qualifying, and looking very impressive in his opening ride there, wins comfortably out in front. Dan Bewley, an encouraging ride there. Touch fortunate midway through the race, with Schapelski sort of almost climbing all over the back of his bike. For Bartosz Marslik, winning nicely heat number 4, and you've got to say he's a savvy guy. He knew that gate 4 was going to work for him, and he made it work a treat in that first turn.
Yeah, he'd chosen draw number 5 in the previous 2 Grand Prix. It hadn't worked for him. It seemed like the right thing to do at the time.
Here's the result, 3 points for Marslik. Dan Bewley in second place, 2 points for him. Schapelski hanging on there in third place. And Mikkel Mikkelsen, well, he'll want to forget that one. He was a little bit untidy.
Hanging on, I think that's a fair description.
Yeah, I think so indeed. So 3 points to Marslik, Janowski, Freddie Lindgren and Kai Hülkenberg. Leon Madsen on 2, Doyle on 2, Dudek on 2, Dan Bewley as well. Frick 1. A good opening game in it there, and plenty of excitement already. So 4 opening races. Let's just watch heat number 4 once again.
Yeah, Bewley makes a great jump, gets across Mikkelsen, but Marslik has just got the bike driving all the way into the corner, not just to the corner. He takes it all the way in and just generates speed out of nowhere right from the start. And you can see the bike working hard there, pulling him to the right, but he just keeps it under control. And there we see Mikkelsen. He's not alone there. We've seen plenty of riders making mistakes on the ruts. Again, this is a problem with the ruts and the track. Schapelski dives across the corner. Bewley has no idea what's going on there, but he would have heard it. You can hear when riders get off the gas.
Tell you what.
And you know they're in trouble behind you.
Tell you what, Schapelski was lucky to stay on there.
Well, so was Dan Bewley.
And it was quite a moment mid-race. Fortunately, they both stayed upright and they completed the 4 laps. Track grading going on now, and just a moment to take a bit of breath, because we've been fast and furious in the first 4 races. Terrific speedway racing. And so let's get some reaction down in the pits with Scotty Nichols, and he's got Maciej Janowski with him.
Magic, super first race there off gate 4. It's sometimes tough, but you made it work for you.
Yes, like I said before, I find some nice spot close to the fence. It was a little bit wet, but actually we got 3 points, so I'm very happy about that hit.
Yeah, and you have the last time they had a Grand Prix here in 2019, you were the winner, so obviously firmly fixed on repeating that again tonight.
Will be great, but I never used to think about my memories. I only looked what is in front of me, so we focus on the next hit from gate 1.
Okay, we'll focus on gate 1, and good luck the rest of the night. I'm going to join your coach, manager, birthday boy, Greg Hancock. Greg, the track, you can see the track is really starting to rut up now, and it's obviously something you're watching it on the monitors. How much is that starting to affect the boys in terms of the setup and also just the line choice?
Well, when it gets like this, especially this early in the night, you know that you're in for quite a ride. And, you probably just have to watch every heat and pay attention to where those ruts are coming, if they're on the entry to the corner, the middle. As we're starting to see, they're popping up in a few different places. But, there's a difference in adjusting your riding style a little bit to these kind of tracks. And the guy who figures it out first will be the one.
So if you were still riding, is that something you would do, more trying to adjust your riding style as opposed to trying to change the setup on the bike?
Yeah, you can make a few different changes to the bike, but, the rest of the track is still, it's comparable too. So you don't want to make anything too crazy just to compensate for the holes. You probably got to try to keep your speed, but adjust your riding style to make it work for the track.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for joining us, Greg, and speak to you later on.
You got it.
Great to hear from Greg, and the voice of experience there. Just move your weight forward a little bit and just cope with those ruts a little bit. And we saw some action there from the pit area. Of course, we're going to see Bartosz Smarzlik now going from the inside gate. He's got back-to-back races, and very impressive in heat number 4, of course, from gate number 4. And he will go from gate number 1 in heat number 5. So, yeah, not too much more track preparation to wait now, and we'll be on with the action. Got to say, it was pretty dramatic stuff in the first 4 races, Chris, and certainly going to be it's going to be all night long, I suggest.
Yeah, I think these ruts are going to develop and get deeper, and there's going to be a few more of them. The guys battling with the track as well as each other, but yeah, I think it's going to get interesting, and this race looks very interesting. Smarzlik on the inside, and he's got Madsen, Lambert, Woofenden. They've all shown speed over the weekend.
Yeah, it's a very competitive heat number 5, that's for sure. It's just we're right looking down right over the start line here, so we can see there FIM Speedway app there for all the live results and latest news. If you want to just get involved with that, we've got all sorts of platforms for you to actually catch up with the action. Discovery Plus as well, so you can actually look at the pit bays. But FIM Speedway app is there ready for you to take advantage of. Heat number 5, Bartosz Smarzlik, the championship leader, going from the inside gate this time. And very impressive in heat number 4, of course. Robert Lambert just made that mistake there, just got too much grip, and just the opportunity to hang on to second place, slipped away. Did well, actually, to recover to third place to get the better of Jack Holder. And Ty Woofenden from the outside. Now, can he make that work? We've seen him do that sort of thing plenty of times.
So frustrating for Robert, just because he knew he had the speed from qualifying. There was nothing between Bartosz Smarzlik and himself, and to be out front from gate 1 and then throw it away, very frustrating.
Indeed, but a point is better than none. Woofenden just preparing himself. So heat number 5 on the inside is Bartosz Smarzlik in red, and gate number 2 is Leon Madsen in blue. Robert Lambert will come out of gate number 3 in white, and Ty Woofenden in yellow will go from gate number 4. And no points, of course, because he was excluded. He was caught out by that rut in the first turn. Doesn't want to drop too many more now. Doesn't want to be on the back foot after 2 rides, and with 3 to come. An important race this for Woofenden. Needs to find something. Very strong lineup. Got to say, this could be a final. Leon Madsen coming forward now, settling down. Heat number 5. Green light is on. Away they go. Inside has worked well. Woofenden's there though. Look at that from Smarslick, hugging that inside. He now comes off the corner. Woofenden's there. Woofenden's there, right alongside him. Terrific effort from Ty Woofenden. Fires himself to the front. Where did he find that speed from? Superb effort from him. What a way to bounce back. We've got Robert Lambert back in 3rd place. Leon Madsen working hard on the inside, trying to keep the pressure on. But Ty Woofenden's away. Looking good out in front, and a scrap for 2nd and 3rd.
Showing plenty of speed. Unbelievable move after a track grade to be doing that around the outside of the series leader Bartosz Smarslik was fantastic for Ty Woofenden. Really starting to show confidence in his equipment now. He's starting to work it out. He's had a couple of meetings on it now and looking fast.
Super out in front. Ty Woofenden working the oracle there through that first corner, getting the better of the championship leader. No easy feat. He's into the last turn. He's been riding out of his skin here. This is really an impressive ride. 3 points, and needed them, of course. Leon Madsen missing out, but for that man, Ty Woofenden, he's back to his best in this World Championship after that 2nd place in Prague last weekend. All of a sudden, a rejuvenated Ty Woofenden. First 2 rounds didn't go the way he planned, but I tell you what, that's a stunning performance from him.
Looking much more like his old self, particularly in Prague with that 2nd place, looking comfortable, looking more confident in the equipment that he's sitting on. And yeah, you've got to say, Ty back to his best.
Terrific ride from Ty Woofenden, 3 points for him. Smarslik in 2nd place, 2 points. 1 point for Robert Lambert, and Leon Madsen will be really frustrated with missing out that, but you can see this again. This is a superb move from Woofenden.
Yeah, Woofenden puts himself in a great position here to make a charge down the back straight. Looks like Smarslik's done enough. He's getting a little bit of wheel spin on the freshly water track on the inside, and Ty very, very brave. You can see there Smarslik stretching his arms, getting his weight on the back of the bike. He wants to push it into the corner, wants to push Ty Woofenden wide. Ty's got over him. Fantastic move from Ty Woofenden.
Yeah, that was a world-class move there from Woofenden. And Smarslik just struggling a little bit out of turn 4 in the opening lap, and allowed Lambert in on the action, and it got tight there for a moment. They were squabbling over 2nd and 3rd, but Smarslik stamps his authority on it. But Woofenden, an impressive bounce back from the former world champion. So heat number 6 then, and just relaxing calmly in the pit bay there. Good to see that. They're up at tapes for the next race, and we've got Dan Bewley there and the wild card as well. Max Frick, who was a wonderful winner in the Narodowy in Warsaw. What a night that was, a night he'll never forget. And all these riders are now going to want to keep pushing on. Kai Hülkenberg, of course, narrowly won his opening ride, and he will go from Dan Bewley, will go from the inside in red. Gate number 2, Kai Hülkenberg in blue. Max Frick in white off gate number 3, and Jack Holder off the outside in yellow. And Dan Bewley with a solid 2nd place, albeit that Szapelski tried to drive a hole in the side of him.
Yes,
He'll want to build on this now, Chris.
Yeah, Dan Bewley, I said it earlier, he's my favourite as a dark horse tonight for a decent result.
Here we go then. Gate number 6, the tapes are up and we're away. Once again, that inside gate has worked nicely for Dan Bewley, a little bit untidy. Oh, Max Frick as well, all over the place. Very nearly clipping the hairpins there. Jack Holder comes through into 2nd place, and the 2 substitute riders are in here and they're leading away. Dan Bewley looking good. He won a heat, of course, last time out in Prague. And I'll tell you what, he's looking good for another one here.
Yeah, these 2 youngsters both growing in confidence in this series, and riders bouncing around. Dan Bewley looked like he was going to make a big mistake around the inside, but he kept it under control very well. Max Frick, unfortunately for him, he didn't. But yeah, it's the young guns out front. Dan Bewley, Jack Holder.
Looking good here, Dan Bewley into the last lap, comfortably out in front, riding a little bit wider there, using the dirt on the outside. Jack Holder almost the same line, but for this man, superb start on the inside. And for Dan Bewley, 5 points from 2 rides. That's a solid start to tonight's Grand Prix for him. Kai Hülkenberg just missing out this time in 3rd place, and Jack Holder back in 2nd. But for Dan Bewley, a very encouraging start for the evening, that's for sure. As I say, he dips into the 59 bracket there. That's a fast race time as well, so clearly the dirt on the outside is beginning to develop. But Dan Bewley, very impressive there. Here's the result. 3 points for Dan Bewley. Jack Holder in second, 2 points for him. Kai Hülkenberg back in third place, 1. And Max Frick, who had all sorts of trouble there, failing to score.
Yeah, Dan Bewley riding with a lot of confidence. He was using more of the track than anybody has so far, having a good look around to see how it would work. Makes another great start. He came off gate 2 in his first one and made a good start then, but Max Frick does well just to hang on to it. We're seeing again, on the first turn of any race, you can't really just pick and choose where you ride. You've got other riders in close proximity, and he's having to ride in between 2 riders there. He can't pick and choose. Collects it. Good control from him not to run into Jack Holder, but he just can't get the bike back under control. And then he's out there on the wet dirt, and he's got no traction whatsoever. But yeah, Dan Bewley jumping around, but looks like he's enjoying himself out there, Dan.
Tell you what, he did well there. Max Frick, he did well to avoid the air fence in truth, but for that man there, coped with the ruts, wound it on, rode wide, rode fast. A very impressive heat winner there. So we're moving on swiftly again. Heat number 7. They're up at tapes. And Patrick Dudek there on the inside. An impressive second place first time. Much more like it from him, showing great speed and resolve there. Pushing hard all the way to the checkered flag. And this meeting's going on at a rapid pace, that's for sure. And we're loving the action. I hope you are at home as well. It's a hot evening here, a sultry evening here in northeast Germany. So gate number 7 on the inside is Patrick Dudek in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Mikael Mikkelsen. Gate number 3 in white is Jason Doyle. And Anders Thompson from the outside in the yellow helmet colour.
Yeah, Jason Doyle's got to be looking to build on a better performance in Prague. Stepped up onto the podium in third place. And he's had a solid record around here. He's had 3 finals, including 1 win.
Here we go then, heat number 7. Tapes are up and away we go. And Raw to that first corner of the inside gate is working well. Thompson's on the outside trying to make that work, and he's just about there. Jason Doyle alongside, and there won't be any room there. Doyle will wind it on there around the inside. Dudek then mid-track. Oh, Thompson's done well there. He's responded really well to get the better of the Australian, to force his way back into second place. Neck and neck down the back straight. Thompson just about hanging on, running in deep into turn 3. It's tight here. You can throw a blanket over the first 3.
Yeah, Anders Thompson just on the outside, riding a slightly wider line, but Jason Doyle looking for a way out the inside. Collects that rut. Got to be watching out for that now. It's getting deeper and deeper. But Anders Thompson, that second and third, or first and second lap was fantastic from him.
It was indeed. Into the last lap then. Patrick Dudek away from the inside, riding strongly out in front, moving forward on the bike like Greg Hancock was pointing out. Body position, all important in these conditions. Anders Thompson in second place for Patrick Dudek. 5 points for him as well. A very useful win for Patrick. And a return to form. Strong start to the night, that's for sure. Good to see. Smashing bloke. Been out of form in the opening rounds, but has responded well here in Tetero this evening. And picks up a very useful win. Pleased with that. It's a bit hairy out there, that's for sure, but
yes,
the guys are dealing with it well. 3 points for Dudek. Anders Thompson, a strong ride in second place, 2 points for him. Doyle battling hard, 1 point for him. And Mikael Mikkelsen, unfortunately, his night has not really got going yet.
No, it hasn't after such a strong start to the series. Disappointing again tonight, but a little bit of movement at the start. You see Jason Doyle just creeps. He is stationary when the tapes go up, probably disadvantaged himself, which would explain why Craig Ackroyd, referee, didn't bring that one back. But an even break once they get going. And Dudek it is that hits the front. Anders Thompson's brave here because Jason Doyle, everybody knows, he is not going to stop his charge once he gets up the inside of you, and he keeps running in hard there. At this point, I have to say, I think he's done the job. But Anders Thompson was tenacious in this first couple of laps, and he just kept pinging it down on Jason, making Jason turn the bike, get off the gas, and managed to stay ahead of him.
Yeah, very good ride there from Anders Thompson. He'll be pleased with that. Hard fought second place there for the Danish rider with Patrick Dudek out in front. Great action here in the Tetero Bergrin Arena this evening. We are seeing some spectacular speedway, that's for sure, and good to see Patrick Dudek amongst the points here. A world number 2, of course, you've got to remember that. We're up at tapes at heat number 8. Another attractive-looking heat coming up, that's for sure. And we've got a heat winner on the inside in Matvej Janowski, who was pretty impressive in his opening ride. We've got Martin Vasilek out as well, looking to bounce back. Can he do something similar to what Ty Woofenden did when he came out for his second ride? But that man in the championship chase, coming into this 4th round of the World Championship in 2nd place on 43 World Championship points, already up to 40. Well, we'll wait and see. Excuse me, it's different point scoring system now, but certainly looking good. Yeah, let's get your act together. But Freddie Lindgren also looking good in his opening ride, so a very tough race, particularly when you haven't scored in your first one. So the lineup then, on the inside in red is Janowski. Gate number 2 is Freddie Lindgren in blue. Gate number 3, Martin Vasilek in white, and Szapelski will go from the outside in yellow.
Janowski on the inside there. He's made one final and he's had one win here, so good memories for him.
Indeed it is. Too much longer and we'll be away. Green light is coming on very shortly. Here it is now. Oh, long pause. Tapes are up. Terrific start from Szapelski from the outside. He's joined by Janowski on the inside, but that's a smashing effort from Szapelski. Roars down the back straight, got a 3rd place first time out. Looked a little bit hairy, but he's out there winding it on. Szapelski in front then. 2nd place we've got Janowski. Freddie Lindgren holding that inside line. Got to say it's not good news for Martin Vasilek, who's tailed off at the back, looking a little bit tentative. But out in front, Pavel Szapelski roaring away from gate 4, looking good.
Yeah, as you say, looking good out front, and it just shows us that the track is developing there. Mistake from Janowski, that allows Freddie Lindgren just to make a little bit of ground up, but Szapelski on the first turn, just showing us the track's developing. He had a lovely run just on the edge of the dirt, straight around the outside. And Janowski couldn't do anything about it, but again he's just lifting across the corner. Plenty of mistakes.
So into the last turn then, Pavel Szapelski, ridden out of his skin here. He'll be delighted with this. This is a really, really impressive performance from him there. Heat number 8 is his. Matvej Janowski settled for 2nd place there, I would venture. A little bit untidy at times, but 2 points was a solid return. And Freddie Lindgren back in 3rd, but Pavel Szapelski, that was a good effort from him. Been a bit up and down in the series so far. Rode well in Warsaw, of course, but has struggled on the other 2 rounds. But rides like that do the power of good. Szapelski 3 points for him. Janowski in 2nd, 2 points for him. Freddie Lindgren in 3rd place, 1. And Martin Vasilek is back in 4th place and has failed to score in his opening 2 rides. So we'll see the positions after 2 rides each. 5 points for Smarslik and Janowski and Dudek and Dan Bewley. 4 points for Szapelski, Lindgren and Kai Hülkenberg. But it's taking shape nicely now, and we're seeing some pretty spectacular stuff. Szapelski then, that was good from him.
Yeah, great ride for Szapelski. Coming off the outside, we can see the outside of the track beginning to work now for these guys, and off the inside it's Maciej Janowski with a great start, hits the first turn in front. And we're just looking at having another look at the actual tapes going up, even break, and we can see Janowski well clear as they hit the first turn, but Szapelski just goes for the dirt line and the track works for him. Plenty of traction around there, look pretty comfortably out front, riding quite wide for most of them. We can see there, you can actually see the ruts, you can see the tyre bouncing through them, and I had to say, middle of turns 1 and 2, Maciej Janowski caught out on 3 occasions there.
Yeah, but the man out of certainly Pavel Szapelski out in front was really impressive indeed, wounding it on, fully committed, and chuffed to bits with that, and looking forward to his 3rd ride, of course, which will be coming up reasonably shortly, and we'll be getting some more reaction now shortly in the pits, and, so we can get down to Scotty Nichols. He's got Ty Woofenden with him.
Yeah, Ty Woofenden joins me now. Ty, no better way to bounce back, excuse the pun, than to go out and get a race win.
Yeah, for sure. It was Gate 4's been winning a few races in the earlier heats, so we had to make the most of that after the get down in the first one.
The track is definitely starting to chop up. You've always said you like the track when it gets a bit rough, but that was a brave move to go down the outside as Margic there. What's going through your mind just you're entering that turn 3 and 4 on the outside of him?
I had good positioning, and it was, if he was going to lift or run up, then I would have cut back on him, and if he stayed inside, I was going to go around him. So yeah, it's kind of nice to have options from there, but yeah, when we get down to gate 1 later on, we might have to be a bit more ruthless in the first corner and shove him out a bit.
Yeah, we'll look to that. Are you going to make many changes leading up to that next race?
Nah, the setup's the same as the first race and the second and the good qualifying session we did halfway through, so I'll probably leave that all night.
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Good luck for the next race. Thank you.
Mate.
Yeah, super stuff from Ty Wolfenden. Terrific way to get himself on the score sheet. And he looked really determined in that interview with Scott. Good interview. And we will wait and see what he does in heat number 11, coming from gate number 2. So a little bit of time for him to just gather himself. But certainly he's always made a point that when the conditions get a bit tough, he's quite happy to deal with that.
They caught him out in his first one, though. Synchronised crashing there with Martin Vasilik. But yeah, he's...
Didn't deter him, though, did it?
It didn't deter him. No, he came out and done reasonably well in his second one.
Yeah, we've got some riders just reflecting on their first 2 rides. Martin Vasilik needs to up his game. He's had a disappointing GP so far, as has Mikael Mikkelsen, who has started the series so strongly, and that's disappointing for Martin after winning 7 days ago. You know, coming here, you would have thought that he would have started really well, but clearly that accident has been a problem. So let's get some more reaction now. We can so yeah, we will watch the water bowser going down. So it's just doing its work out there. So we can get some more reaction this time now with Scotty Nicholls with Dan Bewley.
Yeah, Dan Bewley joins me now. Another fellow Brit. It's going good for you boys tonight. Dan, you made a great start there, but you showed excellent skill to make use of those ruts on that first turn.
Yeah, you know, that wasn't the plan when I was pulling up to the start, but we ended up in them and just made the best of it.
So you said it wasn't the plan when you rolled at the start. Obviously, the plan's always to make the start. We know that. But so, what was the plan when you first went, when you was lining up for gate 1?
Oh, I didn't have one, to be honest. Just dropped the clutch.
Oh man, I wish I had that confidence.
Yeah, maybe it's confidence. I don't know, but yeah, just try and make the start, and if we do, we'll go from there. But you know, it seems to be going all right, but it's a tricky track, and we just got to keep sharp and keep on 2 wheels.
Yeah, it's your first visit here, and obviously the track is pretty tricky, but it looked like you had a nice line, so obviously that means making the start is even more crucial, so you can avoid those ruts, and you had a good lead and looked very comfortable.
Yeah, you know, plan's always to get out front, but especially the way the track is, you know, if you can clear off and you know, have some fresh air, it's definitely better. But you know, I think the track was awesome in practice, so you know, I think we can race if we need to, but you know, obviously I'd rather just be in front if we can.
Let's hope you stay in front. Good luck the rest of the night.
Thank you.
You've got to love Dan Bewley, haven't you? You just got to love it. You know, he doesn't overthink it, which is probably a great thing. And he's riding really nicely tonight. Would have encountered all sorts of different conditions in his younger years, of course, riding in the UK, but so far it's going very nicely for him indeed. We're up to heat number 9, and riders are appearing out on track. And those ruts, you know, some guys don't worry about them as much as others, and I just sense with Martin Vasilik, it's just sort of knocked the wind out of his sails. You can see there on the bottom right hand of your screen the FIM Speedway app. Please get involved if you want to, and just to keep an update on all the action and all the results that are coming thick and fast here this evening.
Yeah, nice to hear from Dan Bewley. It's so rare to hear someone come into a series like this. It's the pinnacle of his chosen career, and yet he's so relaxed about it, just enjoying himself.
Yeah, it was an unexpected bonus with the Russian boys being suspended, and he's come in, and I think he's just, you know, just taking it in his stride, and it's great to see he's not putting too much pressure on himself. So, you know, it's going very nicely for him, and I think he'll make a breakthrough very soon. On the inside then, we've got Jack Holder in red. Gate number 2, Pavel Shapelski, very impressive last time in blue. Leon Madsen, who missed out last time in white. And on the outside, the impressive Patrick Dudek. He will go from gate number 4 in yellow. He doesn't seem to have a heart rate at the moment, so quite clearly very cool, calm and relaxed. Yes, exactly. But Dudek has started nicely, and he's looking good here. got to say, with his 5 points from his first 2 rides, he's looking good. Leon Madsen, as a rider here, you've got to believe that needs to get amongst the points this time. Don't think rutty tracks will suit Leon. Still got a back injury there that he's coping with, so we're certainly now. The green light is coming on. Heat number 9, tapes are up, and away we go. It's an even break. Leon Madsen's made a really good start from gate 3. Very impressive indeed. Dudek's there right alongside him. Dudek coming. Oh, that door is slammed shut down the back straight, that's for sure. Leon Madsen stamping his authority. Jack Holder coming into the picture as well in 3rd place. But Leon Madsen going wide, gone too wide. Got to respond now, surely up the inside. It's going to get tied into turn 3. Patrick Dudek. Wow, what a response from him. Madsen made the mistake and Dudek was ready to pounce. Yeah, Dudek, great lap. He's hit that hole going in the corner. I think that's what happened to Madsen the previous lap. Madsen not quite able to take advantage of that mistake from Dudek. But yeah, various holes in various places. You need a road map for this track at the moment. But Dudek showing so much more speed than he's had in the last few Grand Prix. He has indeed. He's out in front. Took the opportunity with both hands there and fired himself to the front. He's into the last turn. Going to be a second heat win of the night. Move on to 8 points. Almost guarantees his a semi-final spot already. Great return to form for Patrick Dudek. 2017, the world number 2. Pushed Jason Doyle all the way to the title that year. And struggling. Seemed a bit down in the dumps, in truth, in Prague when we spoke to him. But there's no doubt, even with the steel shoe hanging off there at the end of the race, that Patrick Dudek means business here tonight. Yeah, he's got a problem with his steel shoe there, and he did well actually to complete the race. I think it's all sort of wrapped up around the right. Patrick Dudek then 3 points for him. Leon Madsen back in 2nd place, 2 points. Jack Holder in 3rd, 1 point for him. And Chapelski, who was a fine winner in his previous race, he misses out. But some sort of issue there with the steel shoe. I don't quite know what happened. Not quite sure when that happened, but Dudek on the outside. Leon Madsen, it is a rare, from gate 3, a rare good start, but he just closes the door there on Dudek. And you can see Dudek's back wheels right on the edge of the dirt, the deep dirt that's built up. Jack Holder thinks he's going to have a way through. And yeah, it does get tight. It's not a nice feeling when the bike lifts at the end of the straight and you've got to be turning left. But here we see Dudek. He has to close the door there on Jack Holder. Possibly does him a favour, because then he realises that he's got to get across to stop Jack Holder. Goes immediately to the inside. Meanwhile, Leon Madsen's made a mistake in one of those ruts entering the corner, giving him a great big hole to ride through, and he doesn't look back. Great ride for Patrick Dudek. Indeed it was. And despite the steel shoe issue, he came through in flying colours there. And you can't miss him. Those colours he rides in with the green and black, very eye-catching indeed. And as I reiterate, good to see him riding well here tonight. Heat number 10 coming up very shortly, and Martin Vašilik's out here. Needs a big performance. Jason Crump there just in the Robert Lambert camp, keenly looking on. That's Martin Vašilik. Needs to get amongst the points this time. That crash he had in his opening ride seems to have just taken something from him. Can he find the key to it here? 2 riders here actually that have failed to score so far. On the inside in red is Martin Vašilik. Gate number 2 in blue is Robert Lambert. Mikael Mikkelsen going from gate number 3 in white. And Max Frick also struggling for points. He will go from the outside in yellow. Here we go then. Heat number 10. Green light is on, tapes are up, and away they go. Vašilik's made a really good start on the inside, hugs that inside. We've got Mikael Mikkelsen right out wide, but here comes Max Frick between the riders here, getting the better of Robert Lambert as well. Clamps down on the line. Good move from Max Frick there, he needed that. But out in front, this is impressive. He's had a disappointing night so far, there's no doubt about that. But a super start from the inside for Martin Vašilik, the winner 7 days ago. Much more like himself here. He is, yeah, and I think he's been listening to Greg Hancock, because his body language, he's on the front of the seat going into the corners especially. He's moved out wide. There's a lot of grip out there now. The track's working out there, and it's a little bit more consistent as well. So I think he's just going for an easy ride, but it certainly seems to be the quickest way around at the moment. It's working a treat for Martin Vašilik, out wide, using the dirt, avoiding the ruts. Max Frick now in trouble, running across the corner. Robert Lambert coming through into 2nd place. Can Frick respond? Tight going into turn 3 for the last time. Martin Vašilik's going to win. Robert Lambert, right place, right time for Robert Lambert. He had a problem earlier on tonight where he actually gave up a point, but that time he responded was in the right place to capitalise. I tell you what, Martin Vacilic capitalised on a great start from the inside there. Very useful 3 points. Punches the air with delight. And much more like him. And good to see him on the score chart. Two disappointing rides. Mikkel Mikkelsen's having a nightmare. Really isn't going the way for the Danish rider here. Clearly not enjoying conditions.
No, he's not enjoying conditions, and a great way to respond for Martin Vacilic there with the race win.
3 points for Martin, 2 points for Robert Lambert. Good move from him late on. Max Frick in third place, just getting it wrong. Mikkel Mikkelsen, well, failing to score after 3 rides, won't make the semi-finals.
Great response from Martin Vacilic off the inside, makes a great jump, hits the first turn in front. Body language there, he's right on the front of the seat, so when he hits that rut, it doesn't drag him off to the right too far, and he manages, can see there, he's got his body weight right, it's almost off the seat, sitting so far forward. Max Frick there just riding through the gap, getting past Robert Lambert, and it's a brave move to close riders down at the moment, because if they hit a rut just as you've done that, they're not far behind you and it can easily collect you. But there's the mistake from Max Frick, allowing Robert Lambert through, and I think this is where Max is a little bit cautious. He dives up the inside, but he can't overcommit because he's worried about making another mistake.
And that's when the move happened, but you're right, that gets tight going into turn 3. It could have been curtains there, they both could have come down, and the track not ideal on the inside, so yes, just settling for the point there, but Vacilic out in front. We're up to tapes, and it's heat number 11, and we'll see Ty Woofenden. Bit of a debrief in the Martin Vacilic camp. Happier days in there, that's for sure, after some soul searching after the first 2 rides. Freddie Lindgren there on the inside. The ruts are appearing on the start, not just in the corners, but on the start. You must be mindful of that. You don't want to ground out. Inside gate then is fast Freddie Lindgren in red. Gate number 2 for Ty Woofenden in blue. Anders Thompson out of gate number 3 in white. And off the outside, the impressive Dan Bewley in the yellow helmet colour.
Yeah, 5 points for Dan, a great start to tonight. He's got to be looking to take advantage of gate 4. It's had 6 race wins so far out of 10 heats.
Here we go then, heads are up and we're away. It's a good even break, and here comes Bewley once again round that outside. He gets his wheels in line and he hits the front. Woofenden, that was a good first turn from him, gets up the inside of Freddie Lindgren. Lindgren now trying to respond. Woofenden coming on strong, very strong in second place. Got to say, Dan Bewley here tonight is on fire. He really is. He's relaxed. He doesn't really know what he wants to do, but I tell you what, he's getting himself to the front. He's in the most important place. So, looks like it's problems for Anders Thompson. He's pulled up at the back. But for Dan Bewley, it's all going very nicely indeed. As
you say, Calvin, he doesn't know what he wants to do, but I can tell you what he is doing. He's winning races, and he's ahead of Ty Woofenden. Big mistake from Ty. That could have ended in tears, and that's the chance now for Freddie Lindgren up the inside, and he does. And now Ty Woofenden, has he got a response? Is he going to dive up the inside? No. No, not quite there. Freddie Lindgren just taking that opportunity with both hands, but for Dan Bewley, a superb ride. It was a very fiercely fought second place there with Freddie Lindgren just hanging on, but Dan Bewley only dropped 1 point so far this evening. Disappointment for Thompson. Bike packing up at the back. He'll be not chuffed with that. And once again, the race time from Dan Bewley is fast. He breaks that minute barrier again. You've got to say this man really is in top form this evening. I'll just take this opportunity to remind you, I did say he was my dark horse.
Yeah, all right, mate, all right. You can get bored with things, you know, but nonetheless, looks like you might have a bit of luck on your side here, Chris, because he's doing sterling work. And the young British rider who is making light of conditions, that's for sure, and he's riding really, really well.
He is riding well. He's just right. He's really working the bike hard there to get across from forward. Doesn't manage to get all the way across. Then he just heads for the dirt, builds up that speed. And we can see Ty Woofenden there with a big charge up the inside of Freddie Lindgren. Quite tough going into that corner. Takes up all of the track. Doesn't give Freddie a chance to turn in on him. And Freddie Lindgren has to go across the track. And that allows Ty Woofenden to get himself into second place behind Dan Bewley. He does make a mistake later on in the race, which cost him that challenge on Dan, and Dan just stole the march, got himself clear, looked quite comfortable out front.
Yep. Could be a vital point here that Ty Woofenden dropped, because failing to score first time can ill afford to give points away. This is the moment when he just gets himself in a bit of trouble. Does well actually to hang on to the bike as it runs wide, but Freddie Lindgren, well, he took full advantage of that. Heat number 12, Dan Bewley. Obviously heat number 11 belonged to him, but heat number 12 here, we've got the top 2 in the world coming head to head. The result then is 3 points for Bewley, 2 points for Lindgren, 1 point for Woofenden, and it's Thompson failing to finish in actual fact, so unfortunate for him. Smarslick's team just keenly looking on. Heat 12 will complete the third block of riders, and they will all have had 3 rides each. We're looking at Janowski coming out of gate number 2. So on the inside in red then is Bartosz Smarslik. Gate number 2 in blue is Maciej Janowski. Kai Hülkenberg will go from gate number 3 in white, and Jason Doyle will go from the outside in yellow.
Yeah, Jason will be hoping gate 4 can work for him. It's been great tonight so far, able to get around the outside on the first turn. But inside gates, Smarslik, Janowski.
Here we go then, heat number 12. Green lights on, tapes are up, and away we go. Smarslik's made a good start. Jason Doyle is there, but very wide indeed. Smarslik clamps his authority on that. That's big time. And I've got to say, that was a superb first turn from him. He now fires himself to the front. The wildcard car, Hülkenberg, is looking good in second place. And Janowski's out the back. Now Doyle up the inside. Running across the corner. Very tight indeed. Hülkenberg responds well there as they enter turn number 3. Doyle all sorts of problems, and that allows, let's say, Janowski through. While all the fireworks are going on behind him. And Bartosz Smarslik looking good in front.
Janowski gained from that one with everything going on in front of him. I think Hülkenberg was a little tougher on Jason Doyle than Jason expected. He just kept charging, and Hülkenberg didn't move out of the way. But out front, Bartosz Smarslik now being chased down by Janowski. I think Janowski's making a little bit of ground up, but it's not going to be enough, I'm sure.
Into the last corner there, Kai Hülkenberg coming on strong, round the outside. Bartosz Smarslik going to get close. No. Smarslik rode conservatively there, slowed down the longer the race went on, and Hülkenberg came on strong. German fans absolutely delighted with that, on their feet. Brilliant ride from Hülkenberg, but got to say, Smarslik rode a clever race there. Knew he had a little bit of leeway, got tight at the end, but won by a bike's length, and to pick up a valuable 3 points. So a result from him. 3 points for him. Hülkenberg back in second place, 2 points for him. Janowski there, back in third place. And Jason Doyle, that was a tough ride for Jason Doyle.
Yeah, very tough ride for Jason.
You see the standings after 3 completed rides each. 8 points for Smarslik, Dudek and Bewley. And Frederick Lindgren on 6. So those 3 boys have pulled away. But the track out there is tough. We've got plenty of action coming up. Bartosz Smarslik moving on to 8 points, and away they go.
Yeah, Jason Doyle from the outside. Looks like he's going to have a run here, but Smarslik really finds the traction on the inside. Kai Hülkenberg just charging through. Great ride from him as they come into the latter stages. But Smarslik once again just showing that he's got the setup, he's got the bike working even on the slick. And as Kai Hülkenberg there charges up the inside, and Jason Doyle working hard on the inside there, but he just picks up over too much. Oh, catches his foot there actually on Kai Hülkenberg as he goes into the corner. That could have been a nasty moment.
Indeed, but for Jason Doyle, he went very wide in that first corner. I don't know if he caught a rut or something, but I just sensed he was in a good place. Yeah, a bit of contact there that really unsettled Jason, and that then as a consequence relegated him to the back, and Janowski was there ready to pick up a valuable point, but you can just see what the riders are having to cope with here. It really is quite a challenge for them. World Championship, of course, is a challenge. This was the end of the race with Hülkenberg actually coming on really strong.
Yeah, plenty of speed.
He did. I just sense that Smarslik may have just eased it off a little bit there, riding conservatively, avoiding the ruts on the inside. But 8 points from 9 for the championship leader, and looking good for the semi-finals. And he knows what it's all about. He's a cool and calm character, that's for sure. Eye-catching rider. Kai Hülkenberg is doing a good job as well. Jason Doyle, I just sense after that ride, will be a touch frustrated, Chris.
Yeah, he will, yeah. I'm sure he will. He came off the outside gate, which has been very productive tonight, but he wasn't able to take advantage of it. And I've got to say, very impressed with Kai Hülkenberg. Got plenty of experience here at Tetero. It's not the first time he's been the wild card, but fantastic points from him. He's got 6 points from his first 3 rides. That's a great start.
Indeed it is, and we're looking at the pit cams there. If you go on Discovery Plus, you can actually then hone in on your favourite rider, so you can do that for, if you wish, and get involved with that. But the German fans were delighted with the performance of Kai Hülkenberg so far. He's right in the thick of the action here. It's the 100th year anniversary of the Bergring, which is the grass track, which is just opposite the Speedway track. So it's a huge weekend, and the public have come out in their thousands here and enjoying themselves. Jason there. Well, you work with Jason. He's a tough character. Not always the right moment to go and talk to him now after a disappointing ride.
No, you can see in his face he's disappointed with the night's work so far. I think they're warming a new bike up actually for him, so it looks like he's going to have a change of bike. But yeah, it's been a tough start for him, but you know, his work ethic, what I like about Jason, is the same whether it's a league match, whether it's a Grand Prix, whatever it is, he will give you 100%.
He will indeed, and he's always to be relied upon. And we've got some so track preparation continuing, and that we're working hard on that, trying to alleviate the ruts as much as possible. But we're going to get some more reaction from the track now. We're going to be able to get down to Scotty Nicholls, who's made his way to the start line.
Yeah, ruts seem to be name of the game, and I'm right down on the start line here, and you can see the ruts are getting really, really deep now. Some of the boys will be able to pull this dirt back in and pack it in, but they can only do that if the material will allow them to. But the interesting thing I want you to focus on is the boys have to be within about 4 inches of their front wheel from the tape. So there's a point where you'll see them like backing the bike up onto these ruts. You see like the back of a rut here. The bike will drop into it. If these ruts get too deep, where you can see here, the engine starts to grind out and they can't get the run to the first corner. And from here on the inside, we've seen how rough the track is. It's going to be really difficult to enter that first turn. So starts, we know they're crucial, but tonight they're going to be even more so.
Thanks for that, Scott. That's good information, and quite clearly we can see those ruts where you've been digging around. Look after your trainers, mate. But nonetheless, it is a valuable and a crucial point, isn't it? You want to pick the right place, but sometimes you have to move away from where you want to start because the rut's got a bit too deep.
Yeah, exactly, and I was a rider that always actually looked for a fresh bit of track. If I could ever take advantage of fresh track, then I would. But this is a pretty unique surface because it's quite slick and it's quite hard, generally speaking. But once you break the top surface on the start line in particular, the track just gives way, which is why we're seeing the holes and the ruts appear in the corners, because once you lose that little bit of surface, then the track gives way underneath, and that's what's making things rather interesting out there at times.
Yeah, nice understatement there from my colleague alongside me, but nonetheless, it's keeping us on the edge of our seats. And track prep going on. Riders are ready for heat number 13. We will see Jason Doyle once again here, going from the inside gate this time. This is going to be all night. You're going to have to come to terms with it. If you want some big World Championship points, you're going to have to deal with these ruts. They're not going to disappear. They're not going to be able to get rid of them with the track prepping. They can do the best they can, but once the event's on, it's something you will have to mentally come to terms with. Yeah, you do have to mentally come to terms with. You have to accept that they're there and you have to deal with them. You mustn't let them get into your head, and I think, perhaps Mikkel Mikkelsen tonight has just found them a little bit too much, and he's worrying about them rather than just getting on with his racing. Easier said than done, of course, at this level in particular. Yes. But and you can't make too many changes to your equipment. I think it's best just to program your mind, learn where they are, ride slightly more cautiously with your body weight up the front. But again, when you're racing someone and you're looking for traction, that's easier said than done. I think I'd be going over to speak to Dan Bewley. I want to know how he's doing it, because there's no question that he is proving to be very successful at it so far tonight. He will. He also. Did I tell you he's my favourite, by the way? You have once or twice, yes. And I'm bored with it now. Thank you. Remind me a bit later on if he keeps going. But we've got plenty of work going on the track. These guys are going to have to be a touch patient, because they are working really hard to try and keep the track conditions as best they can, and you can understand that. So we will have a slightly longer track prep than we ordinarily would have at this stage. little bit of a chance for the punters to actually just take stock and maybe get a refreshment or two. But I do think we are not too far away from action beginning again. Yeah, goggles going on, so they've been given some indication that they'll be making their way down the start ramp to enter the arena once again. But for Dan Bewley, this is a great opportunity. He's got a very good chance already of being in the semi-finals, but to build on that and get the start you want in the semi-finals, he could well then progress to the final.
Tough race for Dan. He's coming off gate 3, which actually hasn't had a race win all night, so he could start a trend here.
Yeah, I don't think he'll worry about it, though, would he? He'll just get there and drop the clutch as soon as he can.
He doesn't seem to worry about a lot, Kelvin.
No, and I'm envious, actually. I'm very envious, because you can overthink Speedway at times, you know. But there we are. Riders now appearing on the track for Heat 13. Jason Doyle looking to get amongst the points this time after failing to score in the previous race. Possible change of equipment there, actually, for Jason Doyle. It might well be a fresh bike, so
they were warming another bike
looking
up.
To get amongst it this time and hoping that one works a bit better than the bike of choice initially. Boyd's coming forward, and Martin Veselik out here as well after an impressive win last time. Dan Bewley as well, so riders in form. Leon Madsen battling hard and wanting to make the very best of it. He's on the outside gate this time, and just a bit of digging around, but Doyley's there on the inside. As Scott was pointing out to us previously, riders are now very keen to try and make sure they're in the right place on the start line. With those ruts developing, it really is something you have to be concerned of. And the inside then is Jason Doyle in red, and gate number 2 in blue is Martin Veselik. Dan Bewley out of gate number 3 in white, and Leon Madsen off the outside in yellow. And we can see now which bikes they've chosen. B and C, you can see there the change of equipment for Jason Doyle, and he'll be hoping that pays big dividends for him now.
Yeah, the intensive track grading that's just happened has made life a little bit difficult for the riders at the start line. They were taking plenty of time to find the exact rut that they want, because the dirt's been regraded into them and packed down, and it's not easy to see where you want to start.
Heat 13. Big opportunities again. Dan Bewley going great guns on 8 points. He comes out of gate 3 now. Oh, bit of creep there from Jason Doyle. Where they go, Doyle hits that first turn. Leon Madsen's coming through. Bewley also on the inside. Oh, too much grip there. Got caught out there for Jason Doyle and is thrown off the back of the bike. That's a dramatic incident there for Jason Doyle, and he's strewn on the back straight. Fingers crossed he's okay. He landed heavily. Dan Bewley had made a move as well in that first turn. So once again, track conditions just catching out riders, and we keep our fingers crossed that Jason Doyle is okay.
Yeah, I was talking about the start line with the ruts being covered up. Of course, the same ruts in the corners will get covered up with the track grade as well, which they've got to do. But,
it was on the exit of the corner. Normally then you've got it all under control, but it just caught him out.
He's on the inside, he knows he's in front, he's searching for grip, he's doing all he can to get the bike going forward, so the minute you hit something that maybe you haven't spotted, then you're in trouble.
Well, he sat up, that's good news, possibly winded there for a moment.
Yeah.
And do hope that he's okay. I sense he is, he's a tough customer. Leon Madsen was in the thick of it as well.
Yeah, take a look at it again. So frustrating for Jason Doyle on the inside. A little bit of movement at the start from everybody. But Doyle here is that just battles his way into the first turn, gets there in front, looking for grip, and it doesn't seem to do anything particularly wrong. Definitely caught one of those ruts, and the bike just lifts quicker than he can do anything about it. You can get off the throttle, but then the heavy flywheels in the engine have to catch up, and there is a point when you can do nothing about it, and Jason reached that point very, very quickly.
Well, he reaches that point very soon, right there.
Yeah. Can't do anything about it.
You're just a passenger there, aren't you?
And to be fair, you know, an argument that he could attempt to ride that out, but he's concerned about the riders on the outside of him. Leon Madsen was there. You don't want to throw the bike away, and he just does well in the end just to drag it down and keep it away from everybody else.
Yeah, good first turn there from Dan Bewley. He made actually a howler of a start, but it did him a favour because he was able to chop back to the inside.
Yeah, you can see Jason's very aware of Leon Madsen, and he actually does well to drag the bike down there rather than throw it away.
He does indeed, but he'll be excluded, and that means that the last 2 outings he's failed to score, so his Grand Prix is not going great, so the red exclusion light is on. So a rerun with just the 3 competitors here, and good to see him up and about and making his way back with one more ride to come, of course, but his night has not gone as smoothly as he would have liked. And after making the rostrum a week ago in the Marketa Stadium in Prague, this is not what he was looking for.
No, it's not. And young Dan Bewley there was quite impressive from gate 3. Not a good gate tonight, but he got across Martin Vacilic if you're looking to do that again in the rerun.
Yeah, it was because he made a poor start. Not the time to talk to Jason.
No, right.
You've got to learn that. He needs to just cool down a wee bit. But tough night for Jason Doyle. Has won here in the past, has a good record here actually, but so far this evening it's been a tough one for him. No points in his last 2 outings. And a semi-final is looking a long way away for the Australian right now.
It's out of reach now.
And that's tough for him. He would have wanted so much more after the boost in confidence last weekend. We're waiting for the restaging of heat number 13. Riders are gently making their way out, and we'll have 3 of them. Dan Bewley, well, whether he'll make the start or not, he's going to get a point if he can hang on here at the very least. And if you're there or thereabouts, mistakes are being made, and the track is catching riders out, so if you can capitalise on that, so be it.
Yeah, he's making good starts tonight, and he'd made a very good start considering he's come off gate 3 in the first attempt.
Well, I've got to disagree with you there. I think he made a poor start, but he was so far behind, he actually then was able to chop back to the inside, and he crept round the inside, but maybe this time he'll make an absolute perler of a start and fire himself to the front, because there's no question once he gets there, he rides high and wide and generates lots and lots of speed. Martin Vacilic, you can see the war wounds there from his earlier incident. Leon Madsen also looking for some strong points, coming into this Grand Prix in 3rd place, and there's no doubt that he'll want to build on that and keep plugging away. That's what it is, never throw the towel in. So second time of asking then for heat number 13. No rider in the inside. Gate number 2 in blue is Martin Vacilic. Gate number 3 in white is Dan Bewley, and Leon Madsen will go from the outside in the yellow helmet colour, and the letter below those graphics signifies the bike that they have chosen to ride in. If there's a change there, it means that they've changed their equipment. We saw it there with Jason Doyle. It didn't work very well for him, unfortunately. So here we go, heat 13. Dan Bewley on 8 points, going well tonight. Leon Madsen just taking his time, coming forward, settling down now. Start Marshall, keeping an eye on him. Keenly looking for that green light. Now it's on. Tapes are up and away we go. Bewley's there. Bewley's made a really good start. Martin Vacilic, though, that run to the inside's helped him out. Bewley ran the outside. Speed personified. Brilliant stuff. Fires himself into the front. His night's just getting better and better. And as they complete the first lap, Dan Bewley really is riding beyond his experience at this level, having a great Grand Prix. Leon Madsen now pushing on in 3rd place. Martin Vacilic really winding it on in 2nd place. Madsen once again hugging that inside, but for Dan Bewley this is a dream start. Brilliant stuff from him. Restaging of the race, and it's worked a treat for him.
It has. Dan Bewley just so composed out there on the track. Don't want to put the commentator's curse on him, but he just looks comfortable where other riders are making mistakes, bouncing through the holes. I don't know if it's just him reading the track right, finding the right lines. He's just edge of the dirt and generating plenty of speed. I think in the last lap or so,
here we go now on the last corner, and it's Dan Bewley. He has ridden out of his skin there once again. Terrific stuff from the British rider. Moving on to 11 points. Good work from him. Great first corner and back straight that sealed the deal. Martin Vacilic, another 2 points for him. 5 points after a disappointing start. But Dan Bewley, I tell you what, he's going to be a major threat tonight if he can keep this going, because he's through to the semi-finals already with a qualifying race to come. The result then is Dan Bewley 3 points, Martin Vacilic in 2nd place, 2 points for him, Leon Madsen in 3rd, 1 point, and Jason Doyle unfortunately was excluded in the initial staging of heat 13. But wow, whooping for joy in the pits with Dan Bewley.
He's just having fun, and he's the first race winner from gate 3. Doesn't make the start. That goes down to Martin Vasilik, but he just keeps himself composed. No panic. He knows where the speed is in the track. Rides his bike into the dirt. See the battle here between Leon Madsen and Martin Vasilik. And Martin wins that one, takes another couple of points, puts himself on 5 points, gives himself a chance of finding a semi-final place. But Dan Bewley out front, composed, looking comfortable.
Yeah, can't disagree with that. Bewley making it look awfully easy, and I can assure you it's not. One or two boys are having a really difficult time, but Dan Bewley is certainly certainly getting the tongues wagging tonight, that's for sure, riding out of his skin. So heat number 14, riders up at tapes doing the gardening work, and Bartosz Marslik there, who's on 8 points coming into this ride. Freddie Lindgren going pretty steadily as well. He's on 6, so yeah, work to be done. And Patrick Dudek as well here from the outside is having a good Grand Prix. And
he's dropped just the 1 point.
Yeah, exactly. So 2 riders on 8 points here. So on the inside in red is Max Frick. He's changed his bike. You've got Bartosz Marslik coming out of gate number 2 in blue. Freddie Lindgren coming out of gate number 3 in white. And Patrick Dudek going from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Good race this.
Yeah, competitive race.
Here we go then. Riders just beginning to settle down, and start marshal, bringing them forward. Here we go then. Green light is on now. Oh, long pause, and away we go. Dudek's made a really good start from the outside. That is a smashing start. He runs wide. Freddie Lindgren's up the inside. Smarslik's missed out. Really has missed out. He's tailed off at the back. Freddie Lindgren now all of a sudden has fired himself to the front. That was a good opening lap from the Swedish rider, because I thought that Dudek had that, but you've got to say it was a great effort down that back straight to get the advantage of Patrick Dudek, and Freddie Lindgren, with all the experience here, using it to his advantage, and a couple of really impressive first laps here.
Yeah, smart first turn from Freddie Lindgren, using that experience to hit the front, and looking quick, not looking comfortable, but not many guys are on that track out there this evening with the ruts and the holes. But Dudek, another 2 points for him. That's going to move him on to 11 points. And
looking good here, certainly out in front. Freddie Lindgren looking really good. It's going to be a very useful win for him. He's going to move on to 9 points. He just hangs on here. Terrific stuff from Fast Freddie. That move early in the race really paying big dividends. Riding sensibly, riding smart, and doing the business there. Rode in the dodgy part of the track in the opening lap, but made it work. Dudek was a little bit wider, and Freddie was there ready to pounce. Marslik missing out, that's a bit of a shock, but he's still got 8 points. So with a qualifying race to come, you've got to believe he'll make the semi-finals, but don't think he's completely in love with the way it is, because ordinarily you would expect him to come charging through. But Freddie Lindgren, that was an impressive ride. 3 points for him. Patrick Dudek, 2 points for him. Max Frick, 3rd place. And Bartosz Marslik, surprisingly, missing out that time.
Yeah, he may need points, but and he comes off gate 3 in his last one, although fortunately for him, gate 3 is now coming to the party, with the last races being won from there. But we can see Dudek looks like he's going to hit the front here from the outside, but Lindgren's just used his experience, possibly got lucky with the rut, got plenty of traction from that as they left the corner, generated a little bit of extra speed for him, and hits the front, doesn't look back. But Smarslik at the back, tough race for him, leaves him on 8 points. Looks like he's going to need something out of his last race, possibly.
That's the move there. Brilliant stuff. Was brave there, Freddie Lindgren.
Yep.
And as you rightly say, Chris, he used that rut to his advantage. It fired him forward and took that lead away from Patrick Dudek. Bartosz Marslik won't panic, of course, but you rightly say you can't relax when you're on 8 points. You're going to need at least one more. So heat 15 coming up for us now. And we've got Szapelski, who's been a bit up and down tonight. He had a very impressive win earlier on, but then in his next race he failed to score, so needs to try and keep it going here if he can off the inside. Gate number 1 in red then is Pavel Szapelski. Gate number 2 is Anders Thompson, changed his bike. Kai Huckenbeck will come out of gate number 3 in white, and off the outside in yellow is Robert Lambert this time. And Robert Lambert looking to try and use that outside runner if at all possible. And Szapelski on the inside. Well, he's going to have to deal with the ruts there. He can't avoid them. He's going to have to ride through them at some point, that's for sure. Right, heat number 15. Exciting speedway we're watching here tonight. We're on the edge of our seats and away they go. Super stuff on the inside from Szapelski. Here comes Lambert. Lambert's forced wide by Szapelski. There comes up the inside. Anders Thompson. Brilliant move from him. Oh, Robert Lambert.
Steaming through
there. Szapelski goes down. What a forceful move that was from the Brit. Red lights haven't come on yet. Now they do. Now they do. We're going to have to see that again because did Robert Lambert cause Szapelski to go down? I'm not sure.
I think he did.
Not sure he did, but it was a very forceful move, that's for sure. And tough speedway. World Championship speedway is tough. And Szapelski, good to see him on his feet. He's certainly sat up, but just caught out. No, he's sat against the air fence, but I do think he's okay. I do think he's okay. High speed at the end of that back straight, isn't it?
Lambert came steaming in, caught everybody unawares. It was a pretty messy first lap, actually.
Yeah, Lambert looking for a heat win here, under a little bit of pressure. Not just from his own point scores. Dan Bewley's doing rather well as well, and there'll be a bit of competition between the two Brits, that's for sure.
Great start from Lambert, but Szapelski at his hits front, goes straight out to the dirt, very, very wide, allows everybody up the inside, and no, it just doesn't turn the bike, just doesn't get it turned.
Nothing to do with Robert Lambert.
No, nothing at all. Just a mistake from Szapelski there. You can see Anders Thompson steaming up, and now Lambert sees his opportunity to keep the bike moving forward, and Enton turns late into the corner up the inside, but Szapelski goes down all on his own. He's going to have to go for that one.
Yes, he'll be excluded for that, and that's disappointing for the Polish rider, just getting himself in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, it was tough for him because he couldn't really get the bike turned on the outside there, but you could not, in my opinion, take Anders Thompson out for that.
It would be harsh. It would be very harsh. But, yeah, he's excluded, and the riders are already back at tapes. Yeah, there we see the exclusion light on. Rerun with 3 riders then. And but I feel for Szapelski a little bit there. He was caught really hard against the fence and couldn't turn the bike when he wanted to. Thompson had slammed the door shut, but unfortunately, those things do happen from time to time. Restaging then. Gate number 2 is Anders Thompson in blue. Kai Hülkenberg comes out of gate number 3 in white, and Robert Lambert, ruthless Robert Lambert, comes out of gate number 4 in yellow. Dynamic move there, he'd hit the front. Touch disappointing when you see the red light comes on when you've got yourself to the front. Can we say it? Heat 15. Takes her up now. Oh! That's disappointing.
Yeah, Hülkenberg.
Such a shame. He was having a good Grand Prix, you know. And he was certainly in and amongst it. But that will be curtains for him. We're going to have a race now with a reserve rider coming in. Probably Norik Bladorn will come out now. Number 17. We'll see the young German rider come out to join the other 2. But, yeah, disappointing for Hülkenberg here.
Yeah, tape's held for a little while. He just tries to anticipate it, and they don't move for him. He's set himself quite a way back from the white line there, so it just shows that he took a big stab at it.
Yeah, and he can't really blame Robert Lambert either, because Lambert's just sat stationary, isn't he?
Yeah, no excuses, just wasn't patient enough. 6 points, still got a chance, decent chance, a ride to come.
Yeah, put pressure on
the
himself.
Outside gate as well.
Yeah, but a point there would have been handy. Exclusion light on. In Speedway, if you're new to Speedway, if you touch the tapes with your front tyre, then that is an exclusion. So you can't afford to do it if at all possible. But the nerves are jangling, track's tough. And for Kai, that was just a pilot error there. So he'll have to put that behind him now and focus on his last ride, which will be actually in heat 17, so he hasn't got too much longer to wait, and he'll go, as you rightly say, Chris, from gate number 4. Jason Crump there alongside Robert Lambert. Just a few words of encouragement before the restaging of heat number 15.
Yeah, Robert needs points, 4 points for him at the moment, so 2 in the race, well, 3 in the race, but not sure that the reserve is going to mix it. I'm not sure he'll want to mix it, to be honest, the way these guys are going.
Oh, he's just witnessed some pretty hairy speedway at times, so yes, not the ideal times of coming out, but we keep our fingers crossed for young Norick Bladorn, his first appearance of the evening. But as you rightly say, a big race here for Robert Lambert. If he gets up 3 points, 7 points with 1 race to come, then a chance of a semi-final berth awaits for him. Outside gate, Bladorn is in the white helmet colour, so he'll be coming out of gate number 3. And as you say also, rightly, I keep saying that, did you say also that Dan Bewley was your outsider?
I've said a lot of things right.
Right, okay, well done.
Thanks.
And congratulations. Here we go then. Second time of asking. Gate number 2. That's where Anders Thompson is. Gate number 3 for Norick Bladorn in white, and Robert Lambert will go from the outside. And a change of equipment as well there. You'll see he was on C bike initially and has gone to his A bike, so they're just experimenting, looking for points here. A little bit of pressure on Robert Lambert. Jack Holder patiently waiting on for his upcoming ride. Riders just now moving forward. Start Marshall is happy, moves away, green lights on. Oh, long pause there, but Lambert's made an absolutely super start from the outside. Just what the doctor ordered for him. Hits the front, roars down the back straight for the first time on the opening lap. Anders Thompson in second place there, hugging the inside with Bladorn back in third place. But Robert Lambert showing great speed out in front. Really accomplished ride here. Smashing start from the outside. And I'll tell you what, 3 points here, and all of a sudden his Grand Prix looks much, much different.
Yeah, never mind his A bike. He's brought his A game to this one and stealing a march out front. Very, very quick. Anders Thompson just riding around the inside, just trying to avoid the ruts. He's riding very, very tight. And Robert Lambert is just taking advantage of having this big lead. Bike working well, riding out in the dirt.
Looking good, Robert Lambert now. Taking advantage of the restaging of the race. Into that last corner, riding mid-track. Looking pretty smooth in truth, but it was that start and that first turn that did the business for him. Second place for Anders Thompson, but 7 points, that's a very handy return. And he'll be pleased with that. With one more qualifying race to come for the semi-finals, that gives him a very good chance, a realistic chance. 2 points in his last ride, and he could well go through to the semi-finals this evening. But Robert Lambert, of course, has been riding in Germany for a long time, knows this part of the world well, and started riding on 500s here when he was 15 years of age. 3 points for Robert Lambert. Anders Thompson in second place, 2 for him. And the young reserve, Norick Bladorn, picks up the third place, with Kai Hülkenberg being excluded for a tape offence. Here we see it.
Super ride from Robert Lambert. Change of bike certainly paying dividends there. Gets right across from the outside gate, hits the front, doesn't look back, looks very, very comfortable, riding quite deep out in the dirt, making the bike work, finding plenty of traction. Anders Thompson just has to settle down in second place, rides around the inside, but that man there, Robert Lambert, looking a lot more confident in himself, his bike, the track, everything in that one.
They look really fired up, in truth. That move actually in the first staging of the race just shows you the intent he had.
And winning a race is going to give him some confidence. Hasn't won a race in the series since his second ride back in Gorosha.
Yeah, that's quite surprising, that, actually. But good to see him hit the checkered flag first, and they'll be looking forward to his last ride, that's for sure. Heat number 16 then. We've got Ty Wolfenden out here with Maciej Janowski, their teammates in Poland. Mikael Mikkelsen has had a disastrous night so far. The night to forget for Mikkelsen. Got to salvage some consolation here, you've got to believe. Got to try and get himself amongst the points if he can. But Jack Holder also here with Ty Wolfenden and Maciej Janowski. But crunch time for Wolfenden as well after failing to score first time. He's got 4 points to his name. He needs to build on that if he's going to make the semi-finals, Chris.
Everybody needs points in this one. Holder, Wolfenden, Janowski, they've all got a chance, but they need those points.
Inside gate for Wolfenden. Gate number 2 there for Jack Holder. Gate number 3 there in white for Maciej Janowski, and Mikael Mikkelsen going from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. We didn't see if there'd been any changes to the equipment, but nonetheless, so settling down Heat number 16 takes her up and away we go. Woofenden's made a really good start, has a sneaky look over his right shoulder, runs wide in the first turn, hits the dirt, hits the front. Jack Holder coming through nicely into second place. Mikko Mikkelsen amongst the points for the first time this evening at this stage, with Maciej Janowski having some problems back in fourth place, but that was a good effort there from Ty Woofenden off the inside gate. Smart in the first corner.
Smart in the first corner. Jack Holder as well, making good progress on that first lap. Disaster for Maciej Janowski at the back. Don't know what was going on in the first turn, but he lost so much ground. I don't know if he's got a problem there running across the corner. Yeah, this race is done for him, but Ty Woofenden happy with this, moves him on to 7 points.
Yeah, that'll be just what he needed. Has responded really well after that incident earlier on in his opening ride where he failed to score. So Ty Woofenden showing great resolve here. Had a difficult ride last time when he just picked up 1 point, but that was a very impressive ride in difficult circumstances. Smart in the first turn, and the former champion won here in 2018 when he went on to win the world title that year, his third world title. Certainly very impressive in his fourth outing, Chris.
Yeah, very impressive indeed, and we saw a much improved performance last time out in Prague. He'll be looking to continue that on. Obviously started down on the deck in his first one, but he's picked himself up.
Yeah, done very well indeed. 3 points for Ty Woofenden then. Jack Holder in second place, 2 for him. Mikko Mikkelsen in third, 1 point for him, first point of the night. And Janowski, I'll tell you what, he struggled there. So the standings after 16 races is Bewley leading the way on 11, Dudek in second on 10, Lindgren then on 9, Schmarzlik on 8, Woofenden on 7, Lambert on 7 as well. Getting tight in the top 8, that's for sure. 6 points for Janowski and Kai Hülkenberg. And the rest have got work to do. So impressive stuff here from Ty Woofenden.
Yeah, great stuff from Ty Woofenden. Interested to see what happens here to Maciej Janowski, because he's just picked up drive, gone wide, very lapsed first turn really, but Ty Woofenden, I can see Jack Holder bouncing into the corner. The front wheel in the air twice there, but fortunately for him, Ty Woofenden's left him plenty of room as they enter turns 3 and 4. Race settles down quite quickly, but Janowski, a disaster for him. He got a tough last race, comes off gate 4, that could be a bonus, but he's got Robert Lambert, Dan Bewley, Patrick Dudek.
Yeah, smashing ride from Ty Woofenden, and he'll be pleased with that after a disappointing start. And he's looking like he's really meaning business, enjoying in conditions. Doesn't mind it when it gets a little bit rough and tough, that's for sure. So let's get down to the pits once again with Scotty Nichols, and he's with Patrick Dudek now.
Yeah, Patrick Dudek joins me now. It's really good to be speaking to Patrick. You've had a tough start to this series, but tonight it's looking good for you.
Yeah, important start today, and good work in the first corner. Later you must stay focused on the track because we know what's happened. So yeah, track is difficult today, so I stay focused all the time on the start because it's important today.
Yeah, you say you're being focused at the start, but you've looked good on the track. I have to be honest, when I saw you in the pits earlier, you really did look like you're enjoying it, but your last semi-final was here in 2019, so you made the semis, it's looking good.
Yeah, I think I have now semi because I have 10 points, so it's good to back to the semi-final. I am happy because the bike is working good today, so I stay focused all the time, and I hope we'll be okay and maybe race in the final.
Well, let's hope everything's looking good. Good luck for the rest of the night.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to hear from Patrick, and clearly got things worked out. Just shows you how quickly Speedway can change. You know, he was looking a little bit out of sorts a week ago when we chatted to him at lunchtime, but tonight, bike working well, difficult conditions. I wouldn't have thought it would have suited him really, but he's making light work of it.
Yeah, he's an all-action rider that can make mistakes on a track like this, but 10 points from him. He's looking good. He's in the semi-finals. Had a pained look on his face when Scott reminded him it's his first one since 2019.
Yeah, a wry smile, didn't he? He has actually been out of the series as well, so
yes.
But nonetheless, he'll want to change that stat very shortly if he can. Nice little bit of chat going on with Robert Lambert and Jason Crum. Hans Nielsen also looking at his programme. So riders just keeping abreast of where they're at and what opportunities and chances they've got, with one more qualifying race each to come. We are rapidly approaching the business end of this meeting. Mikko Mikkelsen hasn't had a great night. He's got 1 point after 4 rides, so 2 disappointing Grand Prix in succession for him. But heat 17 not too far away. Heat 17 coming up in a few moments' time. Maciej Janowski just looked a little bit lackluster. We're looking at him now, and
very much so. Just
that first turn, he didn't seem to have too many problems, but it just looked like maybe conditions was in his head a little bit. So that's the boys getting ready for Heat 17. Take a look at the FIM Speedway app, live results and latest news, and keep well and truly up to speed with what's going on here this evening. If you fancy that, then get yourself the app and get involved. Hülkenberg now needing to respond as well.
Yeah, Leon Madsen too. He's just on 5 points. He's going to need a race win here to be certain, and even that might not be enough.
Yeah, so we can get some more reaction now with Scotty Nichols. He's got a 3-time world champion with him. Jason Crump joins Scotty right now.
Yeah, Jason joins me working in Robert's camp. You've said that nothing ever seems to faze Robert in practice. He's certainly got a test out there tonight.
Yeah, it's cut up a fair bit actually since practice, but we decided he changed bikes for the last race, and I think it was a positive move and help him get off the start a little bit. So he's got track pace, but just hasn't quite been making the start so far.
Was there much difference between the bikes?
Not so much, but an older engine that he knows probably a little bit more and a little bit more confident with it off the start.
Robert's very calm and composed on the bike. He rides the bike very, very well. All these boys are world class. How much now is it a mental battle when you've got to be faced with track like that?
I think they're all highly skilled riders, Scott. It's never changed. But when the track becomes like this, the starting becomes even more important. We've seen experienced riders making mistakes, and you don't want to be doing that. So get out of the start's always the best thing.
Would you want to be out there?
Ridden worse. Doesn't mean to say I want to be out there.
Yeah, no, definitely. You were saying as well that the guy seems so much more relaxed now from your time in a Grand Prix.
Yeah, I think it's a little different environment. You know, it's everybody seems a lot more relaxed. Probably a lot more conversations between the riders now. But you know what? It's not a bad thing. Today's a long day. You're at the track at like 10:30, 11, getting ready for practice, and then you kind of hang around here and get into the meeting. So probably not a bad thing. They all get on okay.
Oh, exactly. You want to enjoy the event. Anyway, I'll let you get back to getting your man focused and enjoy the rest of the night.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, really good to hear from Jason there, and wise words, very wise words, and you know those are the sort of things that can really help you in the heat of battle. He's been there and done it. Of course he has, and good to see him back involved in Speedway.
It is, yeah. Worked with Jason obviously last year when he made his comeback. Didn't quite work out for him. Got injured just at the wrong time when he'd got himself into some form, so that was unfortunate. But yeah, you're going to listen to someone like Jason Crump and his experience and championships.
Yeah, you surely are. As you rightly pointed out once again, Leon Madsen is up against it here.
He is.
Coming into this round in 3rd place in the World Championship, and points have been hard to come by for Leon this evening. He's on the inside gate, and he probably does need the win. He's on 5,
yeah,
so 8 points, and he'll have to keep his fingers crossed. It's going to get tight. There's no doubt about that. 4 qualifying races to come then before the semi-finals. Track grading looks like it's nearly completed, and it won't be too much longer before the gladiators come back into the arena. Great to be back in Tetero. Super crowd, great atmosphere. People really enjoying themselves, there's no question about that. Track has been challenging, but as I say, Jason said, have ridden worse.
Yes.
So it's still raceable, and you're going to have your wits about you, that's for sure. And we're seeing the boys now just coming down that ramp. And Mikko Mikkelsen, who managed to get a point in the last one. Freddie Lindgren's having a pretty good night, you know. He's on 9 points, so he's doing just quietly going about his business, keeping himself in the right place, and doing. I do think in that last ride he used a lot of experience there. He got himself and he moved forward, and he knows how to approach this track and keep it under control. So experience certainly playing its part. But then it kind of undermines itself when you look at Dan Bewley. But Dan Bewley's got a lot of experience of riding in the UK, where he would have encountered ruts and bumps, so he knows what it's all about. Heat 17, not too far away from getting underway. Track grading, and you can see there, you pointed out earlier when they drag the track back, how that loose material comes back into the rut and kind of disguises them.
It does, yeah. You've got to be very careful. You've got to be sure where you're starting, what's underneath it. Most of the riders will be dragging that dirt back out, looking for a hard surface to start from.
So there we are, and plenty of gardening going on, just clearing some of the loose material away. And these boys will be now completing their qualifying heats and keeping their fingers crossed. Certainly Leon Madsen in particular, that he can make it. Kai Hülkenberg as well from gate number 4. He has got a chance here, but he's going to have to do something similar. Not everybody's going to be able to win the race, of course not, but 6 points he might just be able to. On the inside in red then is Leon Madsen. Gate number 2 is Freddie Lindgren. Gate number 3 is Mikko Mikkelsen. And Kai Hülkenberg, the wild card, going from the outside. Selina Liebman there, just keenly looking on. Of course, we saw her in the SGP2 round last weekend in Prague. Good to see her here, making the effort to come to watch the Grand Prix once again. So heat number 17, the green light's on, tapes are up and away we go. Mikko Mikkelsen's made a really good start from gate number 3, a little bit out. Oh, he's run wide there. Can Leon Madsen respond? No, he can't. Mikkelsen hangs on. Now, Leon Madsen dives to the inside, really working hard. The 2 Danish riders out in front. Oh, neck and neck. Just about hanging on to it, Mikko Mikkelsen, but he's run wide. Leaves a big door open there. Now he responds. Back up the inside, replace the complement. Charges on the inside of Madsen. Madsen winding it on. Freddie Lindgren there also in 3rd place. Brilliant action here in heat 17.
Yeah, Mikkelsen, I think his bike's packed up. That's unfortunate. Definitely slowed down going into that corner. But he's woken up. He's had a very, very quiet night and looked determined to stop Leon Madsen getting to the front. Freddie Lindgren picking up 2 more points to add to his 9, but this is great for Leon Madsen. Gives him a great chance of getting into the semi-final.
Yeah, good stuff there from Leon Madsen. Up against it coming into his last ride. 1 more corner to go for him. And it was really rough and tough in the early stages there with Mikko Mikkelsen, and Mikkelsen comes out the loser. Kai Hülkenberg also, his chances of a semi-final have gone as well. He finishes on 6 points, but for Madsen on 8, that's good work for him. 2 points is very handy for Freddie Lindgren. He'll move on to 11, so safely through. But a problem for Leon Madsen there in the end. Maybe a touch fortunate to actually complete the 4 laps, but he did, nonetheless. And the 8 points, well, must give him half a chance.
Yeah, 8 points will give him a chance. He's only got the 1 race win, though, which will go against him.
3 points for Leon Madsen out in front. Freddie Lindgren in 2nd place. Once again, the experience there, calm and relaxed. Mikko Mikkelsen having problems. Went from 1st to 3rd, and Kai Hülkenberg, I've got to say, really didn't get amongst the action that time and misses out, and that's the last time we'll see him this evening. It's a shame. That tapes exclusion really has been really hard on him. It's cost him. There's the standings. Dan Bewley leads away on 11. Freddie Lindgren on 11, but he's ridden 5 times. And Dudek has got 10. Schmarzlik with a race in hand as well to come. But Madsen there, the bike's running again now, so he's got to trudge his way back to the pit area.
Yeah, Mikko Mikkelsen, determined start there from gate 3, gets across Leon Madsen, and I think later on in the race he's had a few bike problems because he did look like the bike was cutting out on him coming into the corners, so I don't know if that led to his demise in the race. I think it probably did, but tough first turn there. He determined to get across Leon Madsen and then just runs across the corner, and meanwhile Freddie Lindgren's watching all this happen. Madsen up the inside, but yeah, for all of his efforts, Mikko Mikkelsen's had a tough night, and I'm sure his bike packing up in the last couple of laps didn't help him, but Leon Madsen, his bike stopped there just after the race, so that's a bit of a concern. Tight there going into turn 3, and Leon Madsen just keeping his nose in front.
It was. And they did manage
you can see there's Mickelson's bike definitely stopping. He carries on in the race, but he's definitely had a few problems there.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for him, he's not had two good. The last two Grand Prix have been disappointing for him. Madsen there just playing to the crowd. They did get the bike running again, so hopefully it's not terminal. But we're moving swiftly on. Heat number 18 on the inside is Ty Woffinden. Gate number 2 in blue is Max Frick. Jason Doyle. Gate number 3 in white for him, and Pavel Szapelski on the outside in the yellow helmet colour. A couple of these boys, I tell you what, they're up against it here. I don't think they're going to make the semis. It's been a tough night for everybody concerned, but for Doyle, who's failed to score in his last two. In truth, he's racing just for pride now. He's got to try and win a race if at all possible. Green lights on, Woffinden on the inside. Whoa, long pause there. Great start from Frick, but he's not going to get there because he doesn't drive to the turn as well as he would like. Doyle comes through in second place. Woffinden hits the front. 2 gate ones in his last 2 rides, and so far it's proving to be the right place. Locking up there. Doyle's charging hard. Szapelski's out the back. But Ty Woffinden, after failing to score in his opening ride, look at Doyle now, has responded brilliantly.
Yeah, Jason Doyle was finding plenty of speed up the inside. He's put pressure on Ty Woffinden, and Ty needs these points to comfortably put him into a semi-final spot, but he's just now moving out, having a look at the track. But Jason Doyle has found a little speed now. It's too little too late for him.
Yeah, it's a shame for the former world champion, but to Ty Woffinden down in front, it's a narrow lead, it's a slim lead, because Jason Doyle is working hard. Got to believe that Woffinden will hang on now, beginning to stretch that lead on their final lap. Through turns 3 and 4 for the last time in the qualifying heats for Woffinden, and that's a great response from Woffinden. He's won 3 races here, and 10 points to his name from 4 opportunities. I've got to say that's a fine effort. Jason Doyle will be frustrated, there's no question about that, finishing second there. But for Woffinden, safely through to the semi-finals. And who's to say that he won't win tonight, because he looks like he means business. He's not fazed by conditions whatsoever. And he had the inside gate. I tell you what, the inside gate, I would say, would be quite problematic with the ruts on the inside. Result then is Woffinden picks up 3 points. Jason Doyle, a strong ride in second place, 2 points for him. Max Frick back in third, and Szapelski misses out. But Dan Bewley still leading the way with a ride in hand. 10 points for Woffinden, solid work, with Lindgren on 11 from 5 rides as well. Smarslik with a ride to come on 8. But that's a happy camp there in the Woffinden pit area.
Yeah, and gate 1 has certainly come good to us. You see there the working on the clutch. I'm not quite sure what that's about, but he was fairly nervous there. But and it is Frick that actually makes the best jump, but Ty Woffinden gets that bike working so well on the way to the corner. And the last 3 races have been won off the inside gate, so that gate has definitely come good. You can see there Jason Doyle charging through on the inside, out the way Max Frick coming through, puts the pressure on Ty Woffinden. Ty just having a little look over his left shoulder. You can see Jason Doyle's there with him, but finds plenty of pace. Ty really carrying on that good work from the last Grand Prix in Prague.
Absolutely, and his championship is beginning to take shape now. The second place in the Marquetta Stadium clearly boosted him. They've got to grips with the new engines, and things are going a lot better now. And Pete Adams there just studying the programme just to see what might be available for him in the semi-finals. So heat number 19, 2 races to go before we complete the qualifying heats before the semi-finals. And we're back up at tapes, and we've got Martin Vasilik out here. Bartosz Smarslik, who ran a last in his previous race, would certainly like to build on that. He will want to have a good pick if he can. Anders Thompson on the inside in red, Martin Vasilik in blue. Gate 2. Gate 3 is Bartosz Smarslik in white, and off the outside is Jack Holder in the yellow helmet colour. But Martin Vasilik also working hard. Can he finish with a rattle here out of gate number 2? There we go. Missed the start completely, but it's Anders Thompson on the inside, hugging that inside. Bartosz Smarslik there, the meat in the sandwich, with Jack Holder coming around the outside, tight into turn 3. Holder on the outside. Anders Thompson holding the inside, with Bartosz Smarslik also following through. Here comes Holder. Holder now turning the bike to... Can he get to the front? Yes, he can. That's a great effort from the Australian. Brilliant ride from Jack Holder.
Yeah, Jack Holder moves himself on to 8 points if he can hang on to this lead, giving himself a chance. Smarslik now moving through into second place. and Smarslik will make the semi-final. Jack Holder is moving out wide. He's looking confident out there, and he'll take a lot from leading Bartosz Smarslik by this far, as long as he can just stay on the bike, doesn't make any mistakes.
One more lap to go then for Jack Holder. This is a good performance from him. Bartosz Smarslik there, just not looking that comfortable actually, but he's come through into second place with Anders Thompson pulling up, and Martin Vasilik was out of the race early doors. But for Jack Holder, that was very impressive. He was determined and fired himself to the front early in the race and pulls off a very valuable win. Doesn't look like he enjoyed it much, but nonetheless it's a handy 3 points for him. And he makes his way back to the pits, and he's got more work to do with a semi-final upcoming for him. And that's good work from him. The two substitute riders doing well tonight in Bewley and in Jack Holder. Disappointment there for Anders Thompson, who just cruised round. So 3 points for Jack Holder. Bartosz Smarslik steady in second place, 2 points for him, and Anders Thompson 1. And now we see the standings once again with Bartosz Smarslik moving on to 10 and Jack Holder into the top 8 with 8 points. So that's a good move from him. Might just well be enough. Maciej Janowski might be able to overhaul him with a win, but we will see in the last race.
Yeah, from the start, it's a terrible start there from Martin Vasilik. Anders Thompson it is, that hits the front in red on the inside, but great first lap here from Jack Holder. He's just winding it up, using the dirt on the outside. Bartosz Smarslik, the meat in the sandwich there, just has to get out of that battle. That's one he's not going to win, but Jack Holder fully committed once again. We see him bouncing into that turn, and he's fully committed on the outside. Then he thinks about the cutback. Just about that point there, he's got the right foot out, the footrest, maximum traction. Later on in the race there, we see Smarslik just battling his way through into second place.
Yep, and that's exactly right. He did battle his way. I've got to say that Bartosz Smarslik, I don't think he's enjoying it. The last couple of rides, he looks quite conservative on the bike, and that's unusual to say that about such an eye-catching rider. But for Jack Holder, he was pleased with that, but probably just pleased that he survived as well. But heat number 20 then, the conclusion of the qualifying races. And a very big race indeed here for Maciej Janowski. He's on 6 points. And he was disappointing last time. And if Maciej Janowski has ambitions of making the semi-finals, gate number 4's got to work for him here. On the inside then, Robert Lambert on 7 points in red. Dan Bewley coming out of gate 2 in blue. Patrick Dudek coming out of gate 3 in white. And Maciej Janowski coming into this event in second place in the World Championship in the yellow helmet colour from gate number 4. Crucial race for Janowski now. Here we go. Takes her up and away we go. And Janowski's made a really good start from the outside, but Dudek once again through the middle of the corner in the first turn has fired himself to the front, and Dudek is riding so well tonight. A real return to form for him. Robert Lambert back in second place, and Maciej Janowski in third with work to do. Got to say that's a disappointing ride for Janowski. He really does need a little bit more than that if he wants to make the semi-finals. But out in front, Patrick Dudek looking like he's going to move on to 13 points here, and that's a terrific return. Yeah,
Robert Lambert knows he's under pressure there from Janowski. Keeps looking over his left shoulder, knows he's on the inside. He rode a bit more conservatively through the holes, but he's just moving out edge of the dirt. And this will be enough for Robert Lambert for the semi-finals. Dudek's already there, he's safe. Dan Bewley at the back, he's also safe, he's in the semi-finals.
Dudek out in front, riding really well. Coping with conditions really nicely. Now Janowski's almost given up the ghost at the back. With Bewley coming through in third place, Lambert picks up a handy second place as well. Should be enough. 9 points, ordinarily it is, and disappointment for the man who was in second place in the World Championship. Got to say he has sort of faded away tonight. Conditions clearly getting the better of him, but not the case for Patrick Dudek. He has risen to the challenge in fine style, and only dropping a couple of points tonight. That's a terrific return for Patrick Dudek. So he's safely through. So 3 points for Dudek. Robert Lambert back in second place. A good ride from him, 2 points. Dan Bewley, and 1 point for him. And Maciej Janowski, a disappointing fourth place there. Dudek there, tops the charts on 13 points. Bewley in second place on 12. Lingman on 11. Woofenden on 10. Smarslick on 10. Lambert on 9. 8 for Madsen and Jack Holder. And Janowski on 6. So it's clear cut, the top 8 here this evening. See it once again, Chris.
Yeah, just watching the replay here. Patrick Dudek determined there, just beats his compatriot Maciej Janowski to the corner, makes no mistake, pulls clear of Robert Lambert. And Robert had to work hard, but 2 points he knew would be enough for him. And he just had to change his tact. He was riding out wide, then he realised that Janowski was having a little sneaky look right around the inside on the curve. And for a lap there, he got defensive and then moved back out to the fast line. But since his change of bike, you can see there, Janowski just not happy at all, collecting one of those big ruts on the inside, and he's not comfortable at all on the bike.
Yeah, disappointing end to the night for Maciej Janowski, failing to score in his last 2 outings, and that will hurt his championship chase. He's possibly going to slip down the rankings because Smarslick's through, who leads the championship, and Woofenden and Leon Madsen also into the semi-finals. So there was just the 4 points between the top 3 riders, and Leon Madsen on 40 World Championship points has every chance of overhauling him now. So a disappointing end to the evening for Janowski. He will now have to focus his attention on Gorjov at the end of June and try and get his championship back on track. But great effort from Patrick Dudek, and this is quite a turnaround in form, because in truth, in the first 3 Grand Prix he really wasn't at the races at all, and he's quite sure you had the standings there. He was languishing down in 14th coming in to tonight's meeting, but we can get some more reaction now with Scott Nichols, and he's joined by Greg Hancock.
Yeah, I have Greg Hancock. He's just getting himself plugged in. Greg, obviously it's a really tough night for Magic. So close to pushing Smarslick for that run, but track conditions just get the better of him tonight.
Well, yeah, obviously there it looks like something happened to the bike. We haven't found out yet, or I haven't spoken to him yet. But the track conditions definitely were tricky, and he had a good start. It seemed to work pretty good, but I definitely got the better of him tonight.
So what's the chat you're going to have with Magic? Now, obviously, you're just going to need to let him settle down and kind of regroup things, but obviously just get him fired back up for Gorjov next time out?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, he's tough, this kind of stuff, well, obviously it bums him out, but he's no stranger to this kind of a feeling, and he knows how to fix it, and he knows what he's got to do to come back stronger. So it's just to kind of let him dwell, sit on it right now, and then I'm sure we'll talk a lot later.
Yeah, it goes out saying he can bounce back. We've seen that with Max having a shocker start and then goes and wins in Warsaw, and obviously Martin Vasilik does the same. So Grand Prix circuit's a tough life.
It is, and that's the beauty of the Grand Prix anyway. You got so many rounds to have your ups and downs. You just got to make sure that your downs are a little bit better than the rest of them.
Okay, well, hope next one's an up, and thanks for chatting.
You got it.
Yeah, great to hear from Greg. Always speaks so well, and really a good man to have around you. But there's no doubt that it will sting a bit for Maciej Janowski right now, that's for sure. And it's going to be, you have to be patient for the next round. Yep, we just were able to have a little look back on the action so far this evening, just the highlights, and we wait now for the semi-finals and the gate choice, the all-important gate choice, and I guess that the inside gate could be quite popular here. As you pointed out, the latter races in the qualifying heat certainly looked pretty favourable, but here we go now. We will join Phil Morris.
Okay, the first rider to make his selection for semi-final 1, Patrick Dudek. Patrick selects the red gate position.
No real surprise there. Riding well tonight, Patrick Dudek. Can he win here?
And next to make the selection is Ty Woofenden. Please select your start position. Ty selects the blue position.
Gate number 2 for Ty, riding well. Very well, actually.
Next to make the selection is Robert Lambert. Please select your start colour. Robert selects yellow.
Gate 4 for Robert Lambert.
And the final selection for semi-final 1 is Leon Madsen. Please select your colour. Leon selects white.
So there we have it, the first semi-final.
Okay, thank you, guys.
With Dudek going from the inside, we have that confirmed now. Dudek on the inside, gate number 2 for Woofenden, gate 3 for Leon Madsen, and gate number 4 is Robert Lambert. So a good-looking semi-final number 1, and an opportunity for Leon Madsen here. World Championships on the line. They are now wiped clean, of course, and the championship points are now dished out as a consequence of working hard to get to this point. And the first rider to make his selection
for semi-final 2 is Dan Bewley. Dan, select your colour, please. Dan selects the white gate position.
Well, there you go.
And next to make his selection is Frederick Lindgren. Please select your start colour. Freddie selects red.
Delighted to select red, I would suggest.
And next to make his start selection is Bartosz Smarslik. Bartek selects the yellow gate position.
Gate 4.
And the final person to make his selection is Jack Holder. And Jack selects the blue gate position. Thank you, guys.
Semi-final number 2 then, and Dan Bewley never ceases to amaze and surprise us.
Okay, when you say that, I think Ty Woofenden's choice was the more bizarre, because Gate 2 hasn't won a race all night.
Well, there you are. So 2 surprises in the gate picks, but Dan Bewley doesn't hesitate, so fair play to him, and the way he's riding tonight, I sense that he can make the semi-finals from anywhere. But 2 tasty-looking semi-finals coming up for us all, and we look forward to them. It's been a tough night for these guys, and I've got to say that 1 or 2 guys have struggled with it, that's for sure, but that's understandable. But
okay, riders to the lineup.
That rider there in the top box on your right-hand corner there, Patrick Dudek, has ridden outstandingly well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He's been fantastic all night long. He's been consistent. He's looked confident. He's made the right choices.
Do you know what, Chris? There's nothing of him. I mean, you know, when you look at his arms, he's just skin and bones. So, you know, it's all about technique. Greg Hancock in that interview with Scotty Nichols was really on the money, wasn't it? When about its rider position, getting yourself in the right place, and your mind right as well. And Dudek clearly has got that going for him this evening.
And you said earlier that you know, his small stature and the way he rides doesn't naturally lend itself to being able to ride a track as tricky as this one tonight particularly well. It's certainly not easy for him, but he's 13 points. He's been great tonight.
Yeah, that has done the business for him. And crunch time now. This is where the big World Championship points are handed out. So for Smarslik in semi-final 2, of course, there's an opportunity to stretch the lead in the championship. And will he make the final? He hasn't made the last 2, but hasn't looked at his best in his last 2 rides. And it'll be interesting to see how he approaches it from Gate 4 in semi-final 2.
The last 2 rounds, we've seen somebody drag themselves up from the leaderboard from the bottom there. We've seen Frick do it in Warsaw. We saw Vashulik do it in Prague. Is it going to be Dudek's chance here?
Well, it is. He's certainly given himself a really good opportunity to do so with the first pick for the semi-finals, and Woofenden and Lambert making their way through to the gate area. 3 Brits in the semi-finals here this evening, so a good chance of a finalist, at least one of them, to make it through to the grand final a little bit later on. Leon Madsen also in here as well, so an opportunity for him to overhaul Matvej Janowski in the championship chase. Janowski missing out on 6 points. So, yeah, work to be done for Woofenden to build on that second place 7 days ago in Prague, and it's written very nicely indeed. He's coped with conditions admirably. On the outside there, digging around there, got to say it's Lambert's opportunity as well to make his first final, and the breakthrough that we've been waiting for from Robert Lambert, a former European champion of course, so he knows what it's all about at this crucial stage of the night.
Yeah, Robert's shown pace all day. He's quick in qualifying with that second position. Had a change of bikes tonight and he's looked better for it.
Patrick Dudek on the inside. Alongside him is Ty Woofenden in blue, Leon Madsen in white, and Robert Lambert from the outside. Semi-final number 1. Big racing prospect here. Difficult conditions. Got to keep it together. That man certainly has. What Patrick Dudek, Robert Lambert on the outside also has ridden really well, clearly benefiting from Jason Crump's advice, keeping his mind on the job. Bartosz Smarslik patiently waiting on, keeping an eye on the first semi-final. As the boys coming forward, nerves now, no doubt about it. Start Marshall is happy, green light is on. Away we go. Dudek's made a good start on the inside. He hits that first turn, hugs the inside. Here comes Lambert round the outside, lifting it. Woofenden up the inside. Smart move from him. Tight going into turn 3. Lambert on the outside. Dudek hugging the inside. Here comes Woofenden as well. He's through there. It's neck and neck for second place. Lambert's there, vulnerable, very vulnerable. Yes, he recovers brilliantly. He's back into second place. But Dudek, he has been the rider of the night. Look at the way he's coped with that. Brilliant stuff from Patrick Dudek.
Lambert determined there for a couple of laps. He looks like he's got plenty of speed, but that bike is very difficult to ride. He's got to hang on to it in every corner. Dudek comfortably out front once again, and Lambert there we can see really struggling with that bike. They've given him something very difficult to ride. It's on his way to his first final though. This would be fantastic.
Super stuff from Robert Lambert, hanging on for second place. Here comes Woofenden, one last chance. He's run wide, but for Patrick Dudek, 13 points from his first ride, cruises through to the final tonight. A massive turnaround in his fortunes. Clearly delighted with that. Lambert makes his first final of his career at the Grand Prix level. Woofenden just missing out there. Tried awfully hard, put massive pressure on Lambert for second place, but couldn't quite manage to get through to the final this evening. And Leon Madsen at the back. But what can you say about Patrick Dudek? This championship, you just can't predict it. Riders out of form, certainly turning it around. And for Patrick Dudek, he's made his first final of the year. He wins in fine style. Robert Lambert determined in second place, through to his first final. And Ty Woofenden and Leon Madsen missing out this time.
What a ride from that man Dudek. What a night from that man Dudek. It looks like he's going to turn this season around, as Frick did, as Vashulik did in the previous rounds. Great start once again, making fantastic starts. But that man there, Robert Lambert, I thought that was his race done when he lifted quite violently there in the first turn, working the bike hard. He had an animal to ride. His pit crew have said, right, we're all out. You've just got to hang on to this thing, and that's exactly what he did. It takes off there on him, but he does get it under control very quick. He's got great balance, he's got great throttle control, and he needed both of those things there. But Dudek, once he hits the front, as he has done all night, he just looks fast, confident, reasonably comfortable. But Robert Lambert, he worked so hard for that second place.
Reasonably comfortable, love it.
Reasonably, you can't look completely comfortable out there tonight.
I'm loving that. Woofenden coming on strong though. Lambert had to work hard.
Oh, he did.
He did indeed. Reasonably comfortable out in front is Patrick Dudek, bouncing across the ruts, making light of it. Riding really well, actually. Riding very well indeed. And Lambert and Dudek through to the final. So we've got semi-final number 2 rapidly approaching. And good to see Lambert through to his first final. Can he win here tonight? Wow, that would be some spectacular result. But Dudek certainly in the box seat, riding so well. Here we go then. Will we see 2 Brits through? We've got one there. Dan Bewley making his way down. Freddie Lindgren also going good. You can't write Freddie off, you know.
No.
Semi-final number 2 then. Another action-packed 4 laps coming up. It's a new era of Speedway here. Discovery Sports Events taking over at the helm. And we've witnessed an exciting Grand Prix, not always for the right reasons, but it's kept us on the edge of our seats, that's for sure. Tough to predict, riders out of form, then back in form. Really is exciting stuff. This World Championship wide open, but there's one man here. That man on the outside with a great opportunity to stretch that lead. A slender lead he had coming into tonight. Can he make it pay? Hasn't looked at his best in his last 2 rides. So he's going to need a big performance here. He's going to have to dig deep. But Freddie Lindgren there, who was actually gifted the inside gate because Dan Bewley went from gate number 3. So the lineup for the second semi-final then. Freddie Lindgren on the inside. Jack Holder alongside him in gate 2. Dan Bewley on gate 3 in white. And Bartosz Smarslik, the World Championship leader, going from the outside.
Yeah, Smarslik, Lindgren, they know what it's like to be in Grand Prix final. Plenty of those between them, but the young guns in between them, Jack Holder, Dan Bewley, would be their first final. I think we're going to see some determined riding from those 2.
We're going to see some fireworks now, that's for sure. Don't take your eyes off it. Don't go to the kitchen. Don't put the kettle on yet. You just got to wait just a few moments longer.
Stuff yourself into your favourite chair.
Absolutely. Put your seatbelts on for this one. Here we go. All the eyes focused on this race now. Smarslik going to have to find something. Will he rip round that outside? There's every chance of that, that's for sure. Lindgren knows there's a good chance of making another final here. Green light about to come on. Semi-final number 2 and they're away. Good start from Freddie Lindgren on the inside. Bewley's made a great start as well. Mid-track he's gone wide, possibly too wide. Now comes Smarslik. Smarslik firing himself to the front, producing it when it really mattered. On the inside, Freddie Lindgren now back to the front. Smarslik swapping places, onto the inside. Keep your eyes on Bewley. Keep your eyes on Bewley. Oh, he's blocked there by Smarslik, but he's not out of it. He's got a lot of speed. He's now roaring around the outside, winding it on. Smarslik having to dig very, very deep out in front though. Freddie Lindgren's got it under control. Smarslik now settling in second place. Bewley's gone to the back momentarily with Holder coming into the picture, but Freddie Lindgren, that's what experience is all about.
Yeah, experience up front. Freddie Lindgren, Bartosz Smarslik. Smarslik with another mistake. He's not at all comfortable. But no lack of enthusiasm from the 2 boys in 3rd and 4th. Bewley really did take the challenge to Smarslik.
So there we go, semi-final number 2. Freddie Lindgren wins it. Smarslik had to work so very hard to make his way through to a final, but he is there. First final since Croatia. And he won't have enjoyed it, but he's there nonetheless, and he's got to do another 4 laps. And World Championship points on the line, of course they are. But Freddie Lindgren, I'll tell you what, he was very accomplished there, and he held it together very nicely. Great action for 2nd and 3rd there with Dan Bewley. Really going great guns, but just running out of steam as the race continued. Just got a little bit untidy, and his momentum was stalled there at the vital moment. But for Freddie Lindgren, a win for him. Bartosz Smarslik in 2nd place. They're in the final. Dan Bewley and Jack Holder, the 2 substitute riders, doing great work tonight. They just miss out.
Yeah, interesting race, and Dan Bewley did take it to Smarslik. He threw absolutely everything, including the kitchen sink at that race. Look at the determination in his body language to get that bike to go to the turn. Maybe made an error there going quite so wide, but he knew he'd got a rider like Smarslik on the outside. I think he was thinking that's where the challenge is coming from. Tried to stop the run. Smarslik, experience, too smart for that. Makes an immediate cutback, and along with Lindgren out front, the experience coming to the front in the end. But Bewley and Holder, great nights for them.
Yeah, you know, that first turn from Dan Bewley, was that inexperience there, do you think?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, he almost had to do it because I think he just felt that Smarslik was going to be bringing the challenge from gate 4, which has been quite good. He's on the outside of him. I think Bewley thinks I've got to get to the dirt line before him. But unfortunately for him, Smarslik just outsmarted him.
Yep, and disappointment for Dan Bewley, but once again, another solid performance from him. There's no doubt about that. But for Freddie Lindgren and Bartosz Smarslik, making their way through, and they'll be pleased about that. Bit of squabbling going on for third place there in the latter stages of the race, but that man out in front showed great resolve, a lot of determination, got himself up the front of the bike and coped with the conditions very nicely, actually. Never really looked in trouble, and reasonably comfortable. Somebody said that earlier on, and I would say that was pretty apt for Freddie Lindgren.
He just goes about his business so quietly. He's almost under the radar all the time.
You don't really notice it, do you? And then suddenly, boom, he's in the final. A little bit about that roller coaster of a ride he had in Warsaw. Not too much longer before we get the gate choice, of course, for the final.
I don't think there's a lot of choice. Both finals, one from gate 1, both other qualifiers from gate 4. Can't see it being picked a lot different to that.
No, and Patrick Dudek will be in the box seat, you would suggest, here, and every chance of winning his first Grand Prix of the year, and that would be a spectacular turnaround in form. And it's a great night, and nobody's left, that's for sure. And they are eagerly awaiting the final. Right, let's get some reaction now with Scotty Nichols. He's down in the pits.
Yeah, Jack Holder joins me. Jack, a real tough night out there, but a great night for you. Make your first semi-final of your GP campaign.
Yeah, it was certainly tough out there. You know, probably the TV don't do it justice. Them ruts were humongous. And yeah, luckily that everyone sort of stayed together and all in one piece. You know, there was a few crashes early on, but yeah, you just had to ride smart, and yeah, the fastest man didn't win, and the smartest did.
Yeah, it's real tough when it's like that, because we all know it's easy to say the harder you ride the track, the more you attack it, the easier it is. But just what's going through your mind when you're entering the corners, when it literally is just like a minefield?
Hang on. Yeah, you know, I was behind a couple of times, and, you know, it was really tricky to, you know, follow someone in there because you weren't sure if it was going to take off or 360 or whatever. So, yeah, you just had to really make sure that you're in front. But, you know, even though when I was in front, I definitely wasn't comfortable out there.
Well, you got away in one piece. You made your first semi-final, so onwards and upwards for the rest of the campaign. Thanks for chatting.
No worries. Thank you.
Yeah, good work from young Jack Holder, and he's done himself proud tonight, and he can reflect on a really good, strong performance. And a nice interview there, actually, I've got to say. Good, nice interview with Scott. And I'm sure we'll be hearing for some more riders a little bit later on. Not too much longer before we get the gate picks for the big race of the night, the grand final, here in the Nürburgring, in the German Grand Prix, the fourth round of the World Championship. And not too far away from the midpoint of the series, but Bartosz Smarslik has worked hard there, and I think he probably had to dig deep a little bit harder than he really had to, but nonetheless showed a great resolve. But let's get back down to Phil Morris, the race director, for the final draw.
The first rider to select the gate position for the final is Patrick Dudek. And Patrick selects the red gate position.
No surprise there. No.
Next to make his selection is Freddie Lindgren. And Freddie selects the yellow gate position.
Yep. And once again, not really a surprise at all.
And next to make his selection is Bartosz Smarslik. And Bartek selects the white gate position.
Yep.
And the final rider for the final, making his selection, Robert Lambert, selects the blue gate position. Thank you, guys.
So there we are, the final. Three of them have been there on more than one occasion, particularly two of them. And Dudek back in the big time. And Robert Lambert in his first final here, Chris. And he's going to be nervously excited, I would suggest. And the way he's riding, they've got that bike set up to come off the start. He's going to really give it his all.
They've got it set up for a lot of speed as well, and I think the track may be a little bit easier for him now that it's had another heat since his semi-final after the regrade. But it's an animal. I mean, I don't think there was a more difficult bike out there in those semi-finals to ride. And to be fair, Robert Lambert's one of the few guys that I think could ride it and keep it going in the right direction.
Yeah, he's a strong lad, and he can hang on, that's for sure. But for Freddie Lindgren, he's ridden really nicely and just quietly gone about his business and has managed to make his way through to the final. But for Bartosz Smarzlik, this is a wonderful opportunity to really stretch his lead in the championship, because after missing the previous two finals, where really he kind of got out of gel with the way it fell for him, with other riders slipping up as well, particularly with Janowski touching the tapes and Janowski not doing so well this evening. That man, the favourite for the World Championship, it will be his third one if he were to manage to do it. All of a sudden he could steal a march on the opposition, and when you reflect and look forward to the next round, which is in his own backyard in Gorzów, wow, he could put himself in a really strong position.
Yeah, he's had 3 finals here, hasn't managed to win one, which is you would say unlike Smarzlik to have 3 finals and not win one of them, but he'll be looking to change that tonight.
I think the way he's riding, I'm not sure I'm totally confident. I did say that he may well be a favourite of mine to win tonight, but I just sense he's just doing enough to keep himself in it. Freddie Lindgren just sucking himself up for one big effort here now, and wants to win, wants to keep his championship chase well and truly in there. Desperate to be a world champion, of course. He's 36 years of age now, been around a long time, Freddie, and took a long time to win a Grand Prix, Freddie, but once he did, then he was off and running. And in recent years, you've got to say that he's really dedicated himself to the sport and has become a really strong contender at the very highest level. Had a slow start to the season, had long COVID last year, had health issues, but he's looking back to pretty much his best.
Wouldn't bet against him off gate 4 either. He's got that experience, he's going to have the opportunities, and if the track opens up for him in the first turn,
well, he'll take advantage, there's no doubt about that. Patrick Dudek has coped with conditions impeccably, and when he got off the back of the bike in the Nadadovi, he lifted and reared there. That was a nasty looking incident, and the season didn't start as well as he would have liked, but that's in the past now, because in his 6 rides so far this evening, he has been riding really very well indeed, and has been the best rider on show really over the course of his 6 rides. So it's final time here in Tetero. Great to be back. First time since 2019, of course. It's all been on pause for 2 years because of the pandemic. But we're back. Huge crowds. People enjoying themselves. Great to see. That man, what an opportunity now. He'll know it. The whole team will, of course. They'll very much appreciate the circumstances they find themselves in. And a championship on the line, of course. Been there and done it twice. Just got out-battled last year by Artem Laguta, who sadly is not with us this season. But nonetheless, we've enjoyed a great Grand Prix. It's been exciting. As I say, I think a lot of riders will be a touch relieved to leave here this evening.
Yeah, it's been a challenge.
It has indeed. But Dudek has risen to that challenge. There's no doubt about that. He's ridden determinedly. He's been full of confidence. The bike's been working. And when those ingredients come together, we see the class of the man and the reason why he was a world number 2 in the past.
Who are you going for, Kelvin?
Well, I'm going to stick with Smarzlik. I'm not totally confident, but I picked him earlier on. But I do feel he's vulnerable coming from gate 3, and I don't think he's really enjoying it. The last couple of rides, he hasn't quite looked comfortable. So on the inside, we've got Patrick Dudek in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Robert Lambert. Bartosz Smarzlik will come out of gate number 3 in white, and off the outside is Freddie Lindgren in yellow. Who do you fancy?
Well, I'm going to go with the underdog. It's his first final. I'd love to see him win it. I'll go for Robert Lambert.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are thinking the same. And it would be a fabulous way to finish off your evening's work and your debut in the final. So here we go then. Final race of the night. Green lights on now. Tetero up sharpish. place, and away they go. Dudek's made a good start from the inside. Hugs that first turn. There's Bartosz Smarzlik coming through into second place, and Freddie Lindgren also getting the better of Robert Lambert down the back straight on the opening lap. Dudek once again in that position we've become accustomed to seeing him. He's got a lead. He's looking good, Chris. He's set for a final win now.
He deserves this. He's been the best rider all night long. I don't think Smarzlik's overly comfortable. I don't think he wants to throw these points away. His nearest challengers have not put themselves in the final, so this will do for Bartosz Smarzlik. But Patrick Dudek, you can take nothing away from him. He absolutely deserves this victory on the night.
Looking good out in front, just got to keep it all together. He's bouncing around. A little bit uncomfortable there that time into the last lap. Smarzlik hanging on to second place. It's strung out, understandably so. Difficult conditions, but just one big effort around this last corner. Keep it all together. Patrick Dudek, the rider of the night, no question about it. Wins in style, fully deserved win for Patrick Dudek. Smarzlik back in second place, does his World Championship. No harm at all with Gorshov coming up in 3 weeks' time. Been a tough night, but for Patrick Dudek, that is an outstanding victory here tonight in Tetero.
Yeah, 4 GPs, 4 different winners. What a series we've got on our hands here, Kelvin. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's been terrific. It's been tough out there, but Patrick Dudek delights the Polish fans. And considering the form he was in coming into tonight, he probably can't believe it.
It's a relief.
A relief and overwhelmed with emotion. The team delighted, of course they are. They've probably been working harder than they've ever done with the fact that he's been finding form hard to come by. But for Patrick Dudek, that is an outstanding result. And the 20 World Championship points that he has earned tonight are very welcome indeed. 14th place he was coming into tonight. He won't be there now. Patrick Dudek, the winner. Bartosz Smarzlik will be pleased with his 18 points and showed great determination in actual fact to manage to pull that off. There was a moment earlier on where I thought maybe he might slip away, but he didn't. But Dudek has done the business. Plenty of Polish fans here to celebrate with him. And got to say, he surprised me. I'll tell you, he's done a great job.
He has done a great job, and another one that's turned his season around and put himself in the mix. And it's the third time we've seen that happen this year, and fully deserved that victory. He's been the best rider on show all night long. But Smarzlik, I think given the tough night he's had, he hasn't looked comfortable, he hasn't looked quick. I think to be taking 18 points away from tonight's meeting, he'll be very satisfied with that.
Let's say it again.
Yeah, from the inside, Patrick Dudek been electric from the start all night long. Not necessarily known for his starting, but he's hardly put a foot wrong all night long. And Smarzlik just settled into the race in second place. I honestly don't think, A, he had the speed to take the chase to Dudek, or necessarily he wanted to. I don't think he wanted to take the risk. I think he's very, very happy with 18 points. But that man there, looking back on the opposition, it's a relief for him. Back to form, back to his best, and a Grand Prix win.
Yeah, he fully deserved win, and has done it in style. Bartosz Smarzlik, I agree with you. I think he was more than happy to take second place tonight. It's a great result for him. He will move nicely on. 35 points now for Patrick Dudek. Had 15 coming into tonight, so that really will rocket him up the charts, that's for sure. So good work all round, and when he reflects on that, I'm sure with Gorshov coming up in 3 weeks' time, riding at home, he'll be looking to build on that. Plenty of congratulations going on between the two camps. But a tough night of Speedway. Here we see the standings or the results from tonight. 20 points for Dudek, Smarzlik 18, Lindgren 16, Lambert 14. Just missing out on the rostrum. A little bit of a disappointment, but still a good night. Solid work from Bewley there. He'll be pleased with 12 points. Yeah, that's a good result for him. Ty Wolfenden 11, Leon Madsen 10. He'll move on to 50 championship points. But we'll now see the overall standings now, and this will make interesting reading because Bartosz Smarzlik on 62. Now, that is a significant lead, and things have worked out with him, with Janowski and Madsen missing out on the final. Lindgren all of a sudden is lurking there in fourth place, with Wolfenden in fifth. Robert Lambert now on 36. Martin Vasilik, a disappointing night for him, but a big move for Patrick Dudek. That is significant.
It is. Fully deserved tonight. Top 8 for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan Bewley there on 32, and that's done him no harm at all. So it's been a great